time on World Class B. After the massive success of WCBS episode 400, the guys are back and refreshed for a new season of the show. With the impending release of the highly anticipated Wokebusters about to drop, is Jeff ready to drop from exhaustion, or has his true power yet to be unleashed? Could the Bombay Bad Boy and Chocolate Thunder team up to take down one of the greatest threats known to the channel? And what about Kendo? The Doctor in training is back with a vengeance and ready to lay waste to those in his way. All that and more will be covered in tonight's episode of World Class B. Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're back.
We are, folks, and we're not alone. First off, say hello to the Bombay Bad Boy from the introduction, Big Rig Nick Utam.
Thanks, glad to be here. Apparently, Dion's not really here. He's just an AI avatar now.
Yeah, we're all VTubers in the future. I'm going to become a giant bull. You'll be a rhinoceros. Dion will be a demonic horse, and Kenda will be an eagle. There you go. And finally, say hello to American Ramrod coach, Kendo Slice.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
So, folks,
I'm too exhausted to be anything other than just here.
It's okay, man. Believe me. I understand life comes at you pretty quick. So, WCBS, the bullshitters always have each other's backs. We're like the Wedding Crashers, except we don't wear tiny jackets or have a poster with all of our quotes yet. So, folks, welcome into tonight's show, episode 401 of WCBS. Last week, episode 400 was a banger. It was a record-breaking show. It was one of our best shows since 2022. So, folks, thank you very much for making WCBS 400 a huge hit. Welcome to the new era of the show. We're going to have more stuff, new exciting things each and every week for you guys to come out, hang out with us, and entertain, inform, and do everything else we do each and every week here on the show. So tonight, we have a lot of stuff to cover. First off, we want to thank our patrons out there. Folks, I gave you an early release of the new Star Wars documentary that's coming out Saturday. So folks, always want to tell you guys what's up to date here on the channel. I've been wanting to make video essays, long-form documentaries, things with video and stuff where we're not really a part of it for a while. And I thought, what is a good introduction? Well, a good introduction is this weekend is 25 years of the Phantom Menace. So I thought that'd be a fun little way for you guys to get acclimated into what we're doing. And then I've been having such a good time doing it, and I've been reading the room and these responses we're getting. I'm going to go ahead and give you a number 2, not a joke, but a number 2 documentary on Alita Battle Angel. I'm going to start working on that one after Star Wars because, yeah, I really liked that one. I've been watching a lot of stuff getting ready for WCBS Takes Japan. So be on the lookout for that big documentary on Saturday. I've been editing it for quite a while, but if you're a patron, you can listen to it right now. So, folks, thank you very much for supporting WCBS outside of the channel. Now, speaking of outside of the channel, we have some big news. Now, folks, for the last few weeks, I've been talking about Wokebusters being done, Wokebusters being done, Wokebusters being done. Well, let's take a look at the animation for Wokebusters right now, shall we? Now, folks, this is not the trailer. The trailer will drop next week. I have to do a few more things, but this is the animation of Wokebusters, so check it out. I'm quite excited. There we go. So, what do you got? There you go. D2 approves already. So, thank you to everybody who has backed Wokebusters early. Folks, we're going to get the Kickstarter. It's going to be ready very soon, as of next week. I actually uploaded the wrong version of the the animation. I have the high def one I meant to upload. I uploaded the time-coded one by mistake. That way no one can take it and claim it's theirs or some dumb shit. That was a mistake. But that was an animation I had done. I commissioned that from an artist who I've worked with, tangentially. He was not related to, but recommended to me by my colorist. excellent work. Going to be working with him again, maybe doing some more Wokebusters stuff in the future. Now, folks, I have to let everybody know we have to check in with our old pal Scott Steiner, because our friend Tim Riggs is here in the chat right now.
Oh my God.
And he sends us a massive, awesome super chat. So Tim, thank you very much. Folks, thank you for all the support and the love. We're going to keep this thing rolling after some Steiner Man.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning, because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we used to go one-on-one, and then add 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at Sacrifice.
Tim Riggs, thank you very much for all the years of support for WCBS. Tim says, we'll probably be asleep by the time you guys go live. Hopefully not, because you just sent this one in. Just want to put myself out there, so I am. After show, we call a near-death experience a few months ago. Currently planning on hitting up Horror Hound in September this year. I turned 44 on September 15th. Well, Tim, keep yourself safe. Get to us. We will hang out with you. I will celebrate your birthday together when you come to town. Folks, Horror Hound is September something 2024. We'll let you know all of the information about WCBS being in attendance. But Tim, thank you for joining us tonight, man. I'm really glad you're okay, dude. We've had a lot of fun hanging out, and I definitely want to catch up with you in person and hear exactly what happened, dude. Guys, you excited for the trip? Or sorry, not excited for the trip. You excited for the con? I know we just have done a couple this year, but I kind of miss hanging out already.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, we also have our Lakeside Lockdown coming up here soon too.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but just to be clear, the Horror Hound weekend is happening in Cincinnati, Ohio, September 13th through the 15th. Just so everybody knows.
There you go.
There you go. Tim Riggs will be here for his birthday. Now, somebody asked about was Jeff at a TNA Impact taping? I guess I'm on TV. Yes, I was at TNA Impact on Saturday night.
Well, there was probably only like 8 people there, so it would have been really easy to get on TV.
No. Here's what happened.
Less?
It was they rented out this pavilion thing, and so they had like a mini arena, and then they had like a standing room area, and I got free tickets. I went to my local pizza place. I told the guys I won free tickets. What happened is I walked into my local pizza place to pick up dinner on Mother's Day, and there were just like wrestling tickets on the counter, and I went, oh, sweet, wrestling tickets. So I went on Saturday night. And what happened is, after a certain point in the show, we decided to walk a little closer to the ring so we could heckle the crowd. If you watch the Trent Seven match, you'll hear me heckle him quite. Well, I like Trent Seven, but anyway, we're standing in the back, and all of a sudden, this dude is like next to me, and I'm like, oh shit, this is a wrestler. His name is Santana, and he's about like 5 feet from me doing his entrance, and I'm on TV. So all of a sudden I start doing the stupid DX pose and something else like right behind this guy. And like I'm on TV I haven't seen the footage yet, but I just remember the camera being like right there on me. So folks, I guess we're making a presence in the wrestling world. World Class Kayfabe is coming in strong in 2024. You can find us at TNA Impact, AEW, WrestleMania. I'll be at, God, we might go to SummerSlam. I don't know. Like, I guess I'm just everywhere now these days with wrestling. So, yes, that was me, those who said in the chat. Now, folks, some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight before we check in with you guys, read the word of the day, and a lot more. Well, we're going to talk about the new Beetlejuice trailer for a minute. We're going to be talking about Ticketmaster. They're getting sued. There's going to be a shitting going on. There's the new Beverly Hills Cop 4 trailer. As the internet's #1 Beverly Hills Cop fan, I got a lot to say about the trailer and a whole lot more content-wise we're going to be bringing you very soon. We have a little fun game tonight. Coach Kendo quiz. You can join us tonight and see how well Kendo does. Last week he got a 100% as the resident DIT, doctor in training of WCBS. Kendo, well, he's got a big brain and he likes to flex it. So, folks, tonight we're going to have fun with Kendo's World War II quiz. We're also going to be talking about Mad Max, Star Trek the reboot, Temple of Doom turning 40, and we even have a fun explain a film plot badly, which, well, I think this might be Dion's personal favorite. But folks, we need a couple things from you first. Beyond all the support you give us, we love it and we thank you and we appreciate it forever. Please hit that thumbs up button. We need to fight the YouTube algorithm. I know it sounds crazy, but we've been doing a lot of analytic research behind the scenes trying to figure out exactly what's been going on with the platform. So we have some ideas, we have some fixes, we have some changes, we have some help. But we need your help too. Hit that thumbs up button and share. All that helps us do is become more searchable in the index. And if you listen to this on the audio version, give us a 5-star rating. Again, it's never for our egos. We don't need to feel warm and fuzzy. We have fun doing this. We just know that it helps us become more searchable, that we can bring in more people, that we can have more fun, more crossovers, more things that you guys like. So, folks, hit it up. That's all we're going to say. So, guys, let's check in with the audience before we hit all those wonderful topics and a whole lot more. Now, our friend Aurora Uplinks has a pitch. So what we're going to do is say, first off, thank you, Aurora Uplinks, for gifting 5. Count them 5, folks. 5 WCBS memberships from Aurora Uplinks, as well as another one from TLJ Screwjob. Thank you both. Let's make sure we show both of their names on screen. Now, Aurora Uplinks has sent in a couple in a row. We're just going to read these right now because they all tie together. Thank you, Aurora. Hear me. You guys should do a buddy movie where you guys go on a treasure hunt because one of your grandparents, a veteran, leaves a map in an old chest. You have to go to Europe and end up going through several battlefields around the Battle of the Bulge and discover a French house abandoned, haunted. So then, dealing with the ghosts of all the old house, you find the treasure location, which sends you on a deeper search for a secret cache of gold. You end up having to get a key from an old locked-up war bunker and then actually have to fight old Nazis who are hidden the Grail in a mountain. In theory, said veteran grandfather came across a Nazi with a map and the key, he killed him, and the other stuff buried in the key and the map, and made a map to that map. I'm sold. What the WCBS European Nazi gold hunting?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's yeah, that, you know, we could get some file footage and make, you know, Florida look like the European coast. It's fine. We can do it.
I'd be happier if we were just hunting the Nazis instead of their gold, but, you know, it is what it is.
Well, the thing is, if it's taking place in the modern day, they're all dead. There might be like 1 or 2 left. Like, would the joke of the movie be, we finally find this old decrepit guy and he's really weak and broken and frail, and we're like, he's a Nazi, and then we just beat the shit out of this old man? Like, is that the joke? Where we just lay the smack on grandpa, just elbow drops and knee drops and shit?
Nobody could really have a problem with that, but, you know, Nick mentioned that all the Nazis are pretty much dead, but not all of them were dispatched in a way that would have been, you know, better for them. So maybe we could go back in time and hunt all the ones down that didn't get it the way they were supposed to and make sure they do. See, that's
I have
fun.
I have thought of a time traveling Nazi hunting movie.
So we have to spend a lot of time in Argentina. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know how they speak so much German in Argentina. No one's ever been able to explain that one to me.
Yeah, me neither. I know. I'm glad I speak German though. It'll help us get around down there. Roar, I like your concept quite a bit. I just like treasure hunting stories. I like a good MacGuffin. Nicolas Cage, National Treasure. That's one of the hokier ones that I love. It's like, oh, it's inside of Mount Rushmore. It's in the vault of this. It's there. It's like, oh, okay. You make America look really cool. It's like American Indiana Jones. Did you ever see the sequel though? Because I didn't.
What? The Nicolas Cage one part. The Nicolas Cage one he did, like the part 2. Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Too. No, I remember watching it. The first one I really liked. I remember watching the second one, being like, "This one isn't as good. I don't think I'm gonna watch anymore." Diane Kruger came and bring me back to watching this movie again.
And she's a sexy lady, so
she is.
Yep.
Now, guys, Shrubbles08 has the word of the day. Thank you, Shrubbles08. The word of the day brought to you by Shrubbles08 here on WCBS, and that word of the day is Karen. Mad Karen, the demanding manager road. Away from the Karen, a fistful of Karen, and Star Wars, the rise of Rey Karen. Let's see, Karen all the way. How Karen got her groove back. Karens.
Kill Karen.
Yes, kill Karen.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Karens.
Dude, that would be a fun comic book to make.
Karen Will Hunting.
How about good Karen hunting?
Good Karen hunter.
Yeah,
There it is.
there you go.
Diary of a Mad Black Karen.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Karen.
I think Oprah already has that. Or Whoopi. Sorry, Whoopi. Whoopi already has that. She's pretty.
Yep, that's her title.
She's pretty angry.
Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Karen.
I love that one. See
a
a few over the Karen's nest.
Sure.
Don't hurt
Karen,
yourself reaching for that one there, bud.
How about Deep Karen? Or
Deep
Karen
Karen?
Impact?
Deep Karen Impact.
Yeah.
The hunt for Red Karen. It's a communist movie.
I'm down.
There you go.
That's our time traveling movie. That's what we do. We do a time traveling trilogy. First, we go back to fight the Nazis. Then we go back to fight commies in World War during the Cold War. Where do we go back for the sequel? Do we go to the future for the final film? Like in the future where the Soviet Nazis came together to destroy the world and we team up to fight and take them down? Is that it?
I mean, that is the dream scenario, killing Nazis and commies at the same time.
Yeah. So what we just developed the TVA like in Marvel, but it's our own thing, and we have to just go and like, take care of shit.
It's like a time traveling minivan that can take us to any point in history. It's like an electric DeLorean.
It's a minivan.
Come on, you got to look stupid in the process of doing it.
That's true.
You notice I
That's
gave the
fine.
Wokebusters a better ride when I went to update that book. Like,
yeah.
Is it a Cadillac?
fuck no. Oh my God, it's a beer truck. So, folks, anything that you saw or read from the previous thing, none of that dialogue's changed. Every joke has changed. None of the stuff. Everything's different from Wokebusters. It's a big epic, and it's done. And you saw the animation, and I'll show it again later if anybody wants to. But yeah, we got a new car. It's called Logic One, and it's a bitch and ride. We have a car chase through Portland. Like Act 3 shows us drive to this infection point where the woke is being infecting, or where the woke infects America, or Portland essentially, and we have to escape at the end of the scene. And there's a car chase that sees us go out of Portland, around, and then back through as we get chased by the giant monster and a flying monster. And so, yeah, folks, Wokebusters has a lot of action scenes because you got to remember, you think of Ghostbusters as one way, but when you really analyze it and break it down, Ghostbusters has like 2 action scenes in the movie and a montage, and that's great. But you got to remember, if you're doing a Ghostbusters style parody of society, you got to make sure that you know that your medium is a comic book, so you don't copy people standing around talking, making jokes. You have exposition to explain the story, but the Wokebusters see a lot more action than the Ghostbusters do in the original 2 movies. So, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is a big, awesome scene, right? But when you analyze it, they literally talk for about 5 minutes, and then they shoot at Gozer, and they cross the streams, and the Marshmallow Man climbs up the building and melts before anything happens. We actually have to fight that big blue creature in the trailer. So there's a lot going on with the Wokebusters. And believe me, Nick, your scientific know-how and prowess has saved our skin many times throughout the case or the course of this comic book. And all I want to ask people is, do you think we'll make it out alive? Could the Wokebusters die in this one? Who knows? Find out next week, folks. Get ready. It's looking awesome. So let's see who we got else here in the chat tonight. Thank you very much to everybody joining us. Folks, we appreciate each and every one of you guys joining all the time. We've been having a lot of support right now, so let's not keep people waiting much longer, and then we'll start the show. Adam Wofford has been a member for 4 months. Thank you, Adam Wofford. Says, when building your mech, you upload an AI that was received from deep space from 1971. That's how you get Nemesis, prototype stealth system. Is that a Star Trek reference, or am I missing something?
Yeah, same here. But also, that sounds like the movie Virus.
Is that any good?
Yeah, I enjoy watching it. It's this what is it? It's a Russian spy ship or Russian satellite ship or whatever. They're trying to like talk to Mir, and apparently like a virus from like another planet like goes through Mir and goes into this big Russian ship, and then like starts assembling itself with like ship parts and human parts, and it becomes like really I don't know, it becomes very like cyborgish and gross. Like there are parts of humans that they're taking apart and putting things back together and stuff. So I really enjoy the movie. It's got it's got a pretty stellar cast as well. Like it's a lot of fun.
Dude, I'm down to watch pretty much anything movie wise, so remind me to watch it later.
Oh yeah.
When we build our mech for Japan, folks, we will take Adam Wofford's ideas into consideration. But I don't know if we want to have an AI that we received from deep space in 1971. It might have some weird sense. That'd be a good skit. You activate AI from the 60s and it's like mildly fucked up. The shit it says to you, you're like, oh, because that would be the joke that we're like, because if you use AI today, like I do for stupid shit, it's really annoying and like, oh, we can't say that. It could be offensive. Like even tells you at the end, just so you know, these things are stereotypes and should not be used. It's like, I yelled at it the other day. I was like, don't give me extra information. You give me what I want and don't. And it actually said we won't add anything extra after it. So I think it's trying to figure me out. I'm telling it like it is.
I don't know, man. I've heard. There's a guy on YouTube who does stuff like that. It's a network Chuck or whatever. He did a whole video on like what was it? How to make your own AI and how to host it on your own computer and stuff like that. It was crazy.
Dude, I'm all about that kind of stuff. I'll have to check that channel out. Send me the link.
Okay.
So, folks, we're going to read a few more and we're going to start tonight's show. Thank you guys for all the support. Keep it coming. We love you guys. We appreciate it. TLJ Screwjob, very generous super chat, says, to quote SNL Sean Connery, I pose a conundrum to you, a riddle, if you will. Name a more iconic wrestling line than, as God is my witness, he is broken in half. Also, what is your favorite movie quote? That's a twofer, and I like both of those questions. All right, guys. So let's ask, what is our favorite movie quote? This is I'll give you two for one of my favorite movies. Because Back to the Future has my favorite line, roads where we're going, we don't need roads. But my favorite line, I kind of want to say, is now Biff, don't con me, or hey, you get your damn hands off her. So one of those three movie lines is my absolute favorite. Even I don't know which one it is right now, but when I figure it out,
you gotta say it Crispin Glover style. You can be like, "Hey, you get your damn hands off her." Do I really need to swear? Yes, God damn it, George, swear.
God, I love Back to the Future so much. I wish it had an anniversary this year to celebrate.
The big. You
gotta wait another year.
Yeah.
Let's see, favorite movie.
Well, I mean, the only thing better than that quote is the all-time classic from a little film in 1998. Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
And then if we're talking more iconic than by as God is my witness, you got to say the only other quote that I think compares in the iconicism is a simple one said by the same man. Stone Cold, that's Stone Cold. JR was gonna have a fucking aneurysm.
Building off of that, another iconic one that just encapsulates an entire thing, said by the same man in the same era about the very same wrestler Dion was alluding to, would be, it's Tyson and Austin. When
and the Austin era has begun after that match. All the JR Stone Cold shit in the 90s, those sound bites are all burned into our brains.
Yeah.
But the one, this one I remember from a little movie, a little independent movie called Pulp Fiction, where the character Jules, played by Sam Jackson, says, "Get my wallet out of the bag." Which one is it? One that says "baddest motherfucker" on it. I love that line.
There's a couple of really great lines from that movie, some that we cannot repeat on this channel.
No, especially about Fabian.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a really long one he does where he's in that room and he reads the passage. He's memorized.
Ezekiel 25:17.
Yep.
Tell to the whitest man is beset on all sides.
Yeah. That's a very tasty burger.
Is that a Big Kahuna burger? Got anything to wash this tasty burger with or down with? TLJ Screwjob, if I'm trying to come up with a more iconic wrestling line, I do think the way they do the immovable object and, the unstoppable force meets the movable object, the Gorilla Monsoon clip.
Mm-hmm.
Even Vince McMahon's Welcome to WrestleMania. I mean, come on. That's been throughout that. Just that specific soundbite's great. No matter what he did. And then, yeah. I mean, if you're talking
Austin is iconic for the bad reasons.
Yep.
Yeah, and if we're talking catchphrases, I think these would be, as God is my witness, would be under like iconic catchphrases.
Yeah.
You like, obviously Stone Cold's that's the bottom line. If you smell what the Rock is cooking, all those. But that is a great question. We don't get to talk about that very much. So, Gunnar, thank you very much. We're going to read our first topic after this one, but we get to press one of our favorite buttons. Folks, I lost the file to this one. I tried to upload it into a video, and I couldn't. So it only exists here on the live show.
Jam-a-ram!
There you go. Jam-a-ram it is.
Lost in the ether somewhere.
Lost on a hard drive somewhere in my office. Like,
Oh my
that's
God.
the depth of it. Will I find it one day? Yes, I will. Could I find it within an hour if I really looked? Yes, I can. Do we need it now? No. You know why? Because it's right here.
Jam-a-ram!
Press it whenever I want.
Listen,
Someday-
if you do it one more time, that the J-Ram's gonna come to life.
Jam-a-ram!
God, Jam-a-ram's coming alive.
No, he's jamming him. He ain't fucking Candyman. Let's,
He's not
pump brakes just a
Beetlejuice
little bit.
either.
Yeah. Or
And you know
Bloody
what?
Mary. Or Biggie
Bloody-
Smalls.
Or Biggie Small. I forgot
Well,
about
look.
that one.
If you say his name 3 times, he'll appear. If you say Buffalo Jeff, his name will appear. But tonight we're talking about a movie that's about to drop just because the trailer dropped a little while ago. I wanted to hear your opinions on this new Beetlejuice trailer, because one of the things we tend to talk about here on the channel is the useless sequels and remakes of a film. Now, Beetlejuice is from the year I was born, 1988. It's my third favorite movie of that year. Well, maybe second. It goes Die Hard, this, then Coming to America. Sorry, the sequel sucked. Long story short, though, Beetlejuice is a great film that people have loved for a long time. And now, 35 years later, it's getting a sequel. Some would say it's a pointless sequel. I'm in that category. But I don't really think this trailer looks like a dumpster fire. It just looks like it's trying a little too hard. Nick, you're our resident horror guy. What did you think of the Beetlejuice trailer, sir?
I'm with you. It does try a little too hard. I mean, you do see the gimmicks from the first one. They're really trying to go like mask and try to bring back that kind of claymation look from the first one. It seems like Michael Keaton's really fallen into that role again, and he's doing a good job. He's trying, and I think he's really trying to carry the whole movie, but he will not be able to. He really will not, and nobody really cares about Winona Ryder or the other female actors that I can't name right now that I've just forgotten.
Jenna
yeah.
Ortega?
Nobody cares about Jenna Ortega. She's the DEI hire. And also like Monica Bellucci randomly in there. That's fine, but why?
She is fine. You're right, Nick.
She is fine. There's no doubting that. But I don't know. I'm with you. It's very try hard. It's very like, hey, remember this thing we did like almost like 40 years ago? Well, here it is again. You're still alive, right? You remember it, don't you? Like, come on, man.
Dion, what about you?
The teaser did a lot better job of getting me excited. Any trailer that's, any sequel that's 20 plus years after the first one has come out is usually going to fall in that way too late category. But the trailer was fine as far as the Beetlejuice callback. The only thing that for real really kind of made me cringe a little bit was Michael Keaton looks old in it.
Yeah, and he's playing a decrepit zombie essentially. So
right,
that
right.
was
And
like
so for him to look, it looks like old Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. Whatever they did for him to not look like that when the first teaser came out, they should have done that for this one, because I mean it's the story so far. It's her and her fucking daughter or whatever. That's that makes sense. The Beetlejuice isn't going to get older. I mean, as what he is, he's always going to be around. You say that dude's name 3 times, you gotta deal with some BS. That all being said, it didn't look like it was something like it didn't look like the type of sequel where it's like, damn, like this is worth the wait. This is going to make the time gap between the sequel and the first one, like it's gonna be like some crazy event. It's like, no, her daughter's being a chump and says Beetlejuice 3 times, and now they gotta deal with Beetlejuice. So we'll see, man. It's not, that trailer did not do a great job of being like, hey guys, you have nothing to worry about. It's like, ugh, damn, Keaton looks old. Winona Ryder looks old. Don't get me, I love me some Kevin Bacon and Monica Bellucci, but it just doesn't warrant what little hype it has right now. So I'm kind of worried about it.
Anything you want to add, Kendo, or do you just echo the sentiments of the other guys?
I mean, definitely echoing the sentiments of the other guys. It's like they're trying too hard, but they're also trying to like trick us by saying, hey, remember these things? You should come see this movie. And I don't like when that shit happens. Although they did do a Top Gun and it worked, but that's because I'm a mark for that shit. So, but I mean, as much as I love Beetlejuice, I don't feel like I'm going to fall for those tricks. I'm already calling it now. Stream it.
Ooh. Well,
Ooh.
I will bite the bullet and see it for the channel, and we'll have a review in September. And I guess we'll just do a Beetlejuice retrospective, essentially. Join us back here in a couple of months when we do that closer to the release of Beetlejuice. Now, our friend Tim Riggs says, in my opinion, the only worse idea than a sequel to Beetlejuice is poking your personal meat injector into a dry, worn-out sandpaper tube and expecting a big payoff. That sounds painful and disappointing.
Tim D, do you need a
It
hug, buddy? Are
sounds
you okay, man? Tim, do you need a hug? What's going on, man?
Oh, yeah, man. It took a turn there, buddy.
Yeah.
This is the winning comment of the night. I know we're only 31 minutes in, so you guys got to beat Philip Lamb. So will we see Alec Baldwin's character in the afterlife meeting Helena Hutchins?
Oh God. Well, I mean, I mean, we I think we've confirmed that he's not in the movie at all. So
Let us dream, man. When you take away hope, then there's just nothing left. But
well, that's Hollywood for you.
Yeah. Now I'm holy shit. Tim Riggs has just gifted 20 WCBS memberships. Tim, thank you very much for your generosity and your support, man. Also, too, Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and the MCU, has gifted memberships as well. So, folks, new members. I guess we got to do new membership stuff. Nick, Dion, Kendall, let's come up with something cool and give these guys something very special. Also, too, folks,
well, I mean,
YouTube is doing one thing that I've been waiting for. Now you can upload membership videos that will sit in a certain space, and then at the right date, they will then go live, and you will not have to change the format or the re-upload or get penalized for trying to upload the same content regularly. So that's going to be something cool that comes to you guys very soon. Thank you, though, Tim. Anything else you guys want to say about this topic before we move on?
Good luck.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll probably go with you, Jeff, to go watch it, and we can, figure it out, because I'm interested, but I'm also like cautious.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Let's see. It drops September 5th.
I decided of a new term for stuff like this. Instead of cautiously optimistic, we're cautiously hope-timistic.
I like it.
We're going to be cautious, but we have hope that we could be optimistic about this and have a positive outcome.
Cautiously.
Trademark.
So, Nick, I'm just trying to see if it's going to be the same weekend as Dragon Con.
Oh God. Well, there are quite a few theaters around me, so we'll be able to figure it out and watch it. They're like,
I mean, technically, it's the week after. It's like 2 days afterwards.
Yeah.
Well,
that's not bad.
No. So while
wait, hold on. So Beetlejuice comes out after Labor Day weekend?
Comes out the 5th of September, it says, according to Google.
That's weird.
Oh yeah, it was never going to be a summer movie. I'm pretty sure the original one is a spring movie. I think it's March of '88. But we can't have horror movies come out not in the Halloween months anymore. What was our film that we liked so much? Late Night with the Devil. That came out randomly at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
that's wiped up the floor.
That happens in the first year. You have that the like January, February are always the shit months. That's why you get those movies that like nobody really cares about. But we've been getting good stuff. We've had 2 good hits from our boy Guy Ritchie. We had Late Night with the Devil. So yeah.
Father O'Malley in the chat says Karen Juice. There we go. We have our new title as well. Now, guys, let's keep on the topic of nostalgia. Let's take it back from 1988 to 1984. Now, 1984 brought us a little film called Ghostbusters. No, we're not talking about Ghostbusters. We're talking about Beverly Hills Cop, the actual #1 film of 1984. It beat Ghostbusters. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson were no match for Axel Foley. The point of pride, I always make that joke. But Guys, today over on Twitter, we were teased, gifted, whatever you want to say. We were given a new trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 4. And as I said, we are the resident Beverly Hills Cop channel on the internet. Nobody likes it or knows it better than we do. So, a lot of people were talking to us about this. What did you think of the trailer, Dion?
You were early in the show, you mentioned the thing about hope. And this trailer definitely has done, very possibly, poisoned me with hope. It wasn't a bad trailer. They did. It was shown. The Axel has a daughter who lives in Beverly Hills. So that's kind of interesting, but weird, even dare I say. But yeah, man, it actually kind of got me a little closer to being on board. It wasn't an awful trailer. Joseph Gordon-Levitt didn't look like his character was being shoehorned into it. It offered just enough in terms of intrigue because apparently Billy's doing something. And it actually opened with an action scene where they crash a helicopter. So I was worried, and rightfully so, I think, with it being Netflix, it's a fucking flip of the coin what Netflix is going to do. But I was expecting something a lot closer to 3, where it was this like reimagined version of Beverly Hills Cop where the theme is different and the way that they went over the top with Billy being silly. It was very much you could tell that there was a different minds in charge of the property with 3. But the trailer, they even make a little joke about, and you were back here in 1994, and they had Axel giving kind of a weird look. Yeah. So it was, as trailers are concerned, it was a pretty good trailer, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be good, as we all know, but they gave me a little bit of hope, man. A little bit of hope.
Yeah, I'm going to let the other two guys go quickly before I gush, because I liked this trailer. I'm going to be cautiously hope-optimistic, as we now say on this channel, but I didn't dislike this trailer in the slightest bit. Nick, you like Beverly Hills Cop. What'd you think?
No, I really like the trailer. I've watched it like 4 times. But it does very much remind me of Live Free, Die Hard.
Yeah, but I like Live Free or Die Hard.
No, it's a good movie, but I'm just like, I actually looked up the director and writers. I was like, did they also like participate in that movie at all? And none of them did. So because they're all too young for it. I was like, okay, they weren't part of that. But just what's happening with the helicopter scene they keep like harking on and stuff, I was like did they help? All right, fine. They probably watched it and really liked it, so it's okay. Yeah, I'm optimistic like you guys. There were a lot of callbacks in the trailer, which always like messes with me, and I'm just like, yeah, I know all this stuff from the other 3 movies. Like I've watched them enough, and it's like I hope it's just not like one giant. I hope you just made the trailer to be a callback so we all can watch it and it's good, and it's not just that for like 90 minutes. So yeah, the trailer did get me amped up. I'm really excited to watch it. I'm excited to watch all of them and do the reviews and stuff with you guys. But like, I just hope it's good. That's all I want. Just hope it's good.
Kendo, same for you.
Yeah, I mean, much like my melanin endowed brethren over here, I also found myself smoking on the old hopium pipe watching this thing. I'm like, damn it. Because I hate it. I don't like it. So I want to see, I either want it to look great, so I know everything is going to be okay, or I want it to look like trash, so I know everything is going to suck, and I don't get myself caught in this middle ground, this no man's land of going, I really hope we can make it to the other side instead of we should just go back that way because we don't need to be out here. And this one's pulling me further the other direction towards oh man, this is going to be great. And when that happens, that's when the kick in the dick hurts the most. And because it's happened so much, I'm wary of that swift dick kick.
So I'm in a weird place because I'm hope-optimistic. I got I'm puffing on the hopium pipe, and as I'm holding this 1985 Axel F single record with the shootout on the back, because I have a Beverly Hills Cop shelf behind me, I hate part 3. And part 3 cannot be topped for being as bad as it is. For example, folks, you got, like, everybody talks about these pointless remakes, these pointless sequels, these pointless films. Beverly Hills Cop 3 itself is a very pointless movie. It doesn't feature Taggart. Part 4 does. It features Serge. That's cool. It doesn't feature Jeffrey. It doesn't feature so many points that are important to Beverly Hills Cop. It is a bad film. Much like, trying to think, it's going to be really hard to top this in terms of bad film. Even if it's cheesy and has a bunch of crap in it, it's still going to be better than Beverly Hills Cop 3. But that doesn't make me go blindly into this movie. I did like what I saw. I get the callbacks. I like Beverly Hills Cop. I understand it. Also, too, a lot of the stuff they shot, I like recognize the location, so I'm like, that's kind of cool. So there's that. But the number one thing, the reason why I actually have faith in this movie is nothing to do with Eddie Murphy or Judge Reinhold, John Astin, Paul Reiser, or Bronson Pinchot. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That guy being associated with this movie, he doesn't really make a bunch of crap. Overall, he's in more solid to good stuff than he is bad stuff. And I don't think he'd be a part of something. I don't think he's ever going to hurt for work. So the fact that he's involved with this movie, either they paid him a shitload of money, which is definitely possible, but I'm betting the script is okay enough that he's involved. He's kind of like my litmus test because he doesn't make absolute trash.
Well, I think it's the latter where he got paid a shitload. Because if as we've done this podcast for years now, the thing we always remember hearing is that Netflix spends $20 billion with a B, on content every year, and I'm sure a large portion of it went to this, and they needed some credibility because the other actors are kind of old, so they went with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's like getting up there but not up there yet. So I think he got paid a pretty penny to be in this movie.
That definitely, whenever you come up with a this or that with Netflix, that is always a fucking possibility. It is always a factor. And him getting paid a lot. Don't get me wrong. I 100% agree with you, Jay. JGL being in something is the opposite of Mila Jovovich being in something. Like 9 times out of 10, it is a good sign that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in something because that dude very clearly wants to make good films. But like Nick said, it's Netflix. You got to be. It is always going to be a factor. So I mean, it's interesting because it's almost like being hyped for a new movie, legitimately. Like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? So it's funny, kind of being back in that place with Beverly Hills Cop 4 because, like you said, 3 is so bad. I mean, it was the thing that crippled the frame. 3 was so bad that whatever was it, CBS, whatever division of Paramount that wanted to do a show backed out after they made the pilot. I mean, that's how bad 3 was. They were so, Brandon T. Jackson, they had the release of the photo of them sitting next to each other in the actor chairs. And yeah, man, we never saw it. The studio said that they're not going to release it, but that whatever happened with the pilot, 3 was lingering around far enough where that shit got canceled. So that's you can't ignore that. That's the other side of it.
Well, the only thing is they told you why that never got made because when they did the pilot, they did this test where people would turn a dial to see what they liked. The only time the dial was turned to 10 was when Axel Foley was on screen and Eddie Murphy wouldn't do a TV show. So they just canceled the show because they realized there's like no Beverly Hills Cop without him and they can't afford him. I don't really think Beverly Hills Cop is a franchise that needs to have anything else anymore. But like if Coming to America 2 was bad, but My Name is Dolomite wasn't. Eddie Murphy came back to SNL and really knocked it out of the park right before the pandemic hit. It was like that last thing before everything kind of changed. I think he has the chops, and this is his like signature character. So I'm guessing the age or whatever that would come with being a Detroit cop would fit with Axel Foley, but at the end of the day, it's got to be funny. They're definitely laying on the action. Like this one has more action than all the Beverly Hills Cop movies combined. Like Beverly Hills Cop is comedy then action. The first one has a car chase in the opening, which is awesome, but like the other 2 action scenes are very tame by comparison. You got Rambo in Commando coming out, the year of Beverly Hills Cop or right after it, And I mean, they got body counts out the ass. They're chopping up armies. They're fighting dudes left and right. Axel Foley shoots like 2 people in the whole movie. 3, actually. Sorry. That's it. So I'm wondering if they're going to compensate, because it's all about a sharp, tight script and about Axel not being in a place he's supposed to be. Maybe I'm hoping that they play the whole like, why can't I be here because I'm black thing finally is the joke, because he's the only one that like brought it to attention in the first movie. I want to see that joke made fun of in the modern day, because that's always my favorite low-key Beverly Hills Cop moment, when he's in the fucking warehouse. How can a black man dressed like myself just wander into the bonded area?
Now, there's one thing I do love in the trailer that they did in Beverly Hills Cop 2, where they had this montage of California, where it's like the influencers and like the dog, people feeding their dogs, stuff like that. I fucking love that, because they did that so well in Beverly Hills Cop 2 with the 80s stuff, with like them walking around, the women in the Jeeps and the swimsuits and the whole thing. And I was just like, okay, they're kind of like bringing that back. I did enjoy that.
What if this movie makes fun of like modern day California to the point where it's like it's a movie that trolls a generation? Like that's all I need it to be.
Well, because I mean, he even makes a comment about the cops being in the fucking in a Lego car.
Yeah,
because they're using like a little battery powered car or whatever. Like, you know, that's another thing. It was like, so he's really kind of like making fun of California as well. So I'm always down for that, because that place is becoming North Korea very, very quickly.
Yep, I don't miss it ever.
Well, I think just to the point, just to circle back real quick in your breakdown of old Dr. Murphy, the movie that you listed that was bad was a sequel.
Yep.
So just be very aware of that. You know, Dolomite was based on a real dude who made bad movies, and Eddie Murphy, I would say he was born to play old Dolomite.
Rudy Raymore.
Rodney, yeah. You know, but you know, the one that was really bad was the sequel to another Eddie Murphy classic. So that's that flip of the coin, man. You just got to be. I don't know if it's bad, dude.
If Beverly Hills Cop 3 didn't exist, then I'd be as you guys. But I have a problem with that movie on a deeper level, and I'll save it for the commentary, folks. That movie turns 30, turns 40, and the new one comes out. So we're gonna do some videos on all of Beverly Hills Cop. Hey, I can make something I'm passionate about. I literally have an Axel Foley show.
So you're gonna do a 6-part series on Beverly Hills Cop. Gotcha.
Why they don't have an action figure yet? That's the whole crux of the video. I'm gonna wear my Beverly Hills Cop or my Detroit Lions jacket the whole video and just be like, "Where is the toy?" And I'm gonna list. Run DMC have toys. The Golden Girls have toys. Old Dirty Bastard has a toy, and I'll just list things that have toys that aren't Axel Foley. And at the end of the video, I just won't get what I want. Anyway, though.
Okay. Do I need to tell you what the director's done in the last few years, or do we not want to get into that?
We do.
I mean, we can save it for another day, man.
Rip the Band-Aid off, Nick. Rip it off. Let's go.
All right. Let's see. The director.
Just give us one or two so we have an idea.
Okay, the director has done commercials. The director's done commercials. He did Johnny Walker 2012. He did Nissan 2016. He did Lost Panda in 2017. Apple iPad Homework 2018. Apple at Work, The Underdog 2019. That's what the director's done. The director is, what's his name? Mark Malloy.
Never heard of him.
Yep, not surprising. Not surprising.
You go from Martin Brest to Tony Scott. Now, John Landis is a great director, but Beverly Hills Cop 3, Eddie Murphy is in a different place. So John Landis made a piece of shit.
Yeah, he should.
And then you got this nobody guy. So
yeah. Also, dear God. Okay, one of the writers. Let's see, what's his name? Will Beal. Is also or he's done the stories he's done. Well, he also did the story for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I'm done. I don't have any faith in this movie.
Aquaman. Was it Gangster Squad? The show Castle did a couple episodes on that, like 5 episodes. He did Training Day, 13 episodes. He did Deputy, 13 episodes. So yeah.
Well, if you want to watch me lose interest in it, here you go. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Well, hey, I'm just trying to give you the best.
We're going off of
here's what I'm trying to get at. And this is really what I mean to say. It could be a dumpster fire. It could suck dick hole. It can't be worse than 3. And here's what I actually am trying to get at. A lot of these bad sequels will ruin my view of an original film. Star Wars, Coming to America, not Ghostbusters, and not Beverly Hills Cop, because Ghostbusters has Ghostbusters 2. That movie kind of sucks at times. So the first one always is better, and I don't care. That's it. And Beverly Hills Cop has a bad one. It can't be the bad one. Even if it is the bad one, the first one doesn't get tainted because it's been 30 years of having a shit one with the film. If a franchise had no bad films, then I understand my feelings, or then I'm like, that's where I'll get at. But because there's already a bad one, this one could suck and be a 0 out of 100. That's fine. But it can't ruin my like of the first one because the third one exists. So if it sucks, it sucks. We'll be here in July to talk about it. July, well, not the weekend it comes out, because that's 4th of July weekend, and nobody watches YouTube during 4th of July, so we won't be wasting our time doing that.
I'll probably be watching Maxine that weekend.
Dude, I want to like that movie, but I thought X was a big piece of shit. It is the most overrated horror movie I've ever seen. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre with porno. It's not original in the slightest bit, and it's fucking stupid. I watched it on Hulu a couple months ago. Everyone was raving about it. I was like, here we go, man. Ty West, fucking what's-her-face with no eyebrows, Mia Goth. Let's watch this movie. And it was just fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Horror fans are so easily impressed that they laud this shit. I thought it was so crap, I didn't watch Pearl. Maxine looks like a cool trailer, but do I really need to watch Pearl to watch Maxine? Because I was not invested in the story enough to watch any of the other one.
As far as I know, don't. But as far as I know, you don't. But Pearl was like, the old woman. It was her backstory and how like crazy she got and like the things she did to escape this small town and like, how desperate she got doing that. And like that was really interesting to see how like she devolves into certain things and becomes very delusional to the point of like hallucinating certain things that are happening to her. And it's just like, oh, you're crazy. Got it. So it was interesting in that aspect of the character study. But yeah, X, I understand. Like, X seems to be very 50-50. Either you like it or you don't, or you hate it. Like there's no in between ground for X.
Well, it's like Midsummer. It's one of those movies that people go on about being great, but then I watched it and I went, the first part is awesome, but it becomes as stupid as a Friday the 13th movie. So don't act like Midsummer is a smart horror movie. It falls apart in the middle, and then the kids just do stupid shit like piss on trees to get killed. It's like the characters become functionally broken as the movie goes on to have them killed. If they were always like that, then I'd be okay with it. But they flip a switch, and I went, yeah, come on. So those are the two horror movies that I always kind of roll my eyes at in the modern age and go, I don't get the appeal.
Yeah,
throw in the witch. Throw in the witch too.
Well, and same thing with Hereditary. Hereditary is good like 95% of the way, and when you get to the end of it and realize what it is, and just the weird shit that happens at the end of it, it's just.
Should I go back and rewatch it because I turned it off because I didn't like it?
Okay. You should, because of the ending. The ending is so ridiculous. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna fucking laugh. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay. Then I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah, because there's one thing that happens at the end that is just like this stationary camera angle of this wide shot of this house in the treehouse, and when you see it, please text me because this thing that happens just doesn't make any fucking sense and it's hilarious.
Well, I might have some time after King of the Ring this weekend. I might put that on.
Yeah.
Let's press some buttons and check in with the audience, shall we? Folks, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for hanging out with us with episode 401 of WCBS.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
me, your old pal Buffalo Jeff.
Speaking of our old pal, Buffalo Jeff, he'll be making an appearance in a few weeks here on the show. He's taking a break for a specific reason. He's out doing something very nefarious, and he's walking his way to Michigan to find one Dion Green. And we have a button in honor of one Dion Green. Here it is for our friend Shrubbles08.
Hello, Dion.
Hello, Dion. Welcome back.
Why have enemies and friends like these?
The audience
Had
loves
anything
you.
to do with that one.
I know, right?
Clearly.
What
I
do you
love you
mean?
like a
Clearly,
brother.
they love me.
But, you know. Aurora Uplinks, thank you for all of the messages tonight, but thank you for this one. It is good. That animation and coloring is awesome. Well, thank you. I'm very proud of Wokebusters. I made it intentionally look like a or a cartoon. That was why it has exaggerated expressions and bright colors and certain styles, because I wanted it. We live in a society that operates like a cartoon. It's really weird, like the shit that goes on that's acceptable. The internet has really changed what it means to be a person these days. And so I thought what would be better than to juxtapose that with cartoony art, over the top, exaggerated, because it's parody of society. I mean, it's Ghostbusters, but it makes fun of the shit we live in right now. So I know it sounds weird when I try to explain Wokebusters, but that's why the trailer will exist when I have a specific opener and closer, and you'll get the whole picture. But I'm glad you like that animation. I was really excited when I got that back yesterday. I was having a fine day, but it turned it into a great day. So thank you, Aurora Uplinks.
Even the definition of a person is very fluid these days.
Yeah.
Dude, when we get to Dunkcast, we will start talking about some of that shit, because it's just like the stuff I'm seeing on the internet lately on Twitter. I'm like, whoo-wee, this is harsh. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
TLJ Screwjob, thank you very much. Yesterday was my birthday. Happy belated birthday, TLJ Screwjob. I hope you had a good one. Hopefully you had a delicious meal, a big slice of cake, maybe some pie if that's your jam, and did something nice. Now, having a birthday on a Wednesday could be fun, but it's the weekend starting tomorrow night, so hopefully you go out and you celebrate and you have a hell of a weekend and, have fun. But come back next week because we don't want you to have too much fun. We'll miss you. Yesterday was my birthday. The Iron Sheik.
Do something a little nasty to you for your birthday, too, buddy.
All right, Chocolate Thunder.
Go get a massage.
Yeah. The Robert Kraft version. You deserve it, man.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. So Dion, for the hell of it, I got bored yesterday with some AI, and I made something just for you. Oh no, it's not offensive. I said, here, make me a Chocolate Thunder logo. So that's what it came up with.
Nice.
Oh god, yeah. AI is not the best with letters at all. Like it's so weird. It's so strange.
Would you like to see the logo for our next segment in a minute?
Oh god, yes, please.
Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
AI is, unhinged sometimes with logos and pictures and stuff.
Now remember, folks, I just want to put this out there so there's never any confusion. All of my projects and my work feature 0 bytes of anything AI. Anything you saw was done by human hand. I drew the book. I wrote the book with my hands. It was colored by someone else and animated by other people, but that book was all made by human hands. I see a lot of stuff being talked about with AI art, and I just want to put that out there that I'm against it in art and products you would buy, but it's fun to use to lampoon on this show. So, Kendo, what do you think of our new quiz logo featuring you?
Nice. I like how my name tag is $500.
Yeah, that's what you're going to win. If you can get every question right on every episode, you're going to get $500.
Yeah, and you have like Fruit Ninja fruit around you. It's so weird.
Love it.
Would you like to see the other one that it came up with? I don't know if you'd ever want to use it.
Oh, God, yes. Sure.
Give me, where did I put the damn thing? Because what it is it's very anime inspired, which I don't know how you guys feel about those, but if you want to be an anime character, we can look just like that.
It also misspelled coach. There's 2 C's at the end.
Oh shit! There you go. See, it can't get any of this stuff right.
I'm Kendo.
No, well, it says it is it Ken. Yeah, like I can't see the bottom of it, but it looks like Kenda almost.
It got Kendo right.
Okay,
that's good.
Yeah. For some reason, integrating like text and pictures, it just doesn't have the capacity to do that. It's so strange.
Well, this was the original one that made you.
See, that's
pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, let's stick with that one. I don't look like as much of a fruity pie in that one.
All right.
Of course, that looks nothing like me either. But at least they got the hair right of what it used to look like.
You look
like
your
final form,
quiz game characters.
This looks like a type of character that would catfish a really old lady on the internet. Oh my god! It feels like it feels like you're the quiz game you're hosting like has a lot of nut punching in it.
I mean, That could be created. You get the question wrong, somebody blasts you in the balls. I mean, talk about motivation.
I know, right? Now, our friend Xavier the God says, Jeff and Dion, why do you guys like Lord Frieza more than Prince Vegeta, Perfect Cell, and Majin Buu? He's my favorite Dragon Ball villain because he's the DB villain. Dion, do you want to go first or do you want me to go? Because I got a lot to say about this. I don't want to steamroll you.
I go first real quick. I mean, of all the villains, that's Frieza's like unredeemable. Like that dude is a straight up. He's a good villain, but he's also a great anime villain. And that dude just, and then he's a big enough threat where it's fun watching Goku and crew especially Goku, obviously, eventually become strong enough to defeat him. So for me, Frieza is in the same level as like Darth Vader. Like you love to hate that dude. Like Frieza, Vader, Homelander, any villain where it's like, hey, like this dude does heinous shit and you want him to lose, and he does things specifically where you're like, God, I fucking hate that dude. Like, fuck, all my homies hate Frieza. That's why he's the best villain.
Yeah, I hate Frieza too, and I'm your homie, so we're on the same page here. Vegeta I think the Saiyan arc is the best arc of the entire show. Like, I just finished where Cell was defeated by Gohan, and it really, there's a lot of like later storytelling that I'm like, this isn't as tight as it could be or should be, and it's kind of stupid. The whole pride and ego, like, I'm going to let him fight. I'm going to let him get his true power. It's like, they do dumb shit because they have the Dragon Balls and they don't really fear anything. And I don't necessarily like those arcs as much because I think the Frieza stuff's great. There's no complaints about that. But the Saiyan arc is like this impending doom coming to Earth. And it shows these characters getting ready for this big fight. And it makes you think that all of the characters are a threat. So like Tien and Yamcha and Chaozu and all those guys that prepare for the fight, Krillin, they're not as powerful as Goku, but they're still a challenging threat. Now, once you get to the later episodes, all the other characters that aren't Gohan and Goku are useless. Even Vegeta can't really hold his own against these big villains until he becomes Majin Vegeta. I don't remember those episodes. But my point is, Frieza's the shit. The Namek Saga is awesome. And Super Saiyan Goku 1 is amazing. And folks, I've been watching so much Dragon Ball Z that over on my Instagram page, which is the Jeff Hicks, I drew a picture of Goku for the hell of it. So if you want to see me draw Goku and see it colored by me, follow me on Instagram. It'll be...
Yeah, I saw the picture. There's also another picture like right beside Goku that,
the tits?
Yeah, that's also very interesting. Yeah, because like I love that, like, every now and again across my Instagram, you'll get inspired and there'll be just like these multiple drawing of like naked women in various poses. I'm just like, oh, Jeff is bored.
Oh no, bored today. It's Jeff is drawing regularly. I should put this on Instagram because I draw most days, but I don't put much on Instagram because I don't like it's. I'm very proud of my own work. I don't like Instagram. I don't think it's a worthwhile thing.
All social media is a shit platform. I fucking hate all of it. I really do.
So like, I would, folks, if I had a better opinion of social media and social media platforms, I would do more art. And I guess I should look into it more because it would help us grow and sell more books. But I draw all the time. And I'm happy with it too. I just don't like Instagram. Anyway, though, Xavier to God, thank you very much for asking us Dragon Ball Z questions. I'm glad you guys enjoy the intro. I've been having fun with doing those. My voice is always ready. So thank you, Xavier to God. Tim Riggs again says no more tube-shaped toys for Dion, though. One only presents battery-powered toys in public.
I was going to ask about that. They're going to bring Dion another toy when he comes see him in September.
Yeah, I remember the last one.
Yeah.
It was very purple.
It was very purple.
Straight out of Vice City.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Is that the best Grand Theft Auto weapon, the dildo? Or is it the minigun? Like, I'd rather have a minigun than a dildo sword, but
I mean,
wasn't it Saints Row that had the dildo sword?
That was Saints Row. They had the dildo bat, the giant pink dildo bat.
Oh yeah, sorry, you just had a dildo in Vice
I don't
City.
know. It's way more degrading to get beaten with a fucking dildo.
Well, one of the Saints Row games, the one that came after that, upped it a little bit. They had, I think the weapon was called the penetrator or something. Yeah. It was like a rod that you'd shove up somebody's ass and you'd launch them. That was a game that wanted to be GTA. They realized it could never be GTA, so it became a parody of itself, and that was great.
Dude, I would argue that Saints Row 2 is a better experience and more true to Grand Theft Auto than Grand Theft Auto 4, because that is the serious Grand Theft Auto, and it is boring. The controls are terrible, and it's a depressing outcome. Saints Row came out at the end of 2008. It had a better soundtrack. It had great controls. You could customize your character. You could do all kinds of crazy shit in Saints Row. Maybe the map wasn't as immersive as Liberty City, but I played Saints Row 2 probably 10 times to 1 for GTA 4.
I would be right there with you. I played Saints Row 2 through 100% completion for at least twice that I know of. And Grand Theft Auto 4, I don't even think I finished Grand Theft Auto 4. I spent most of my time in Grand Theft Auto 4 getting bored and then just going to the comedy club to watch the Ricky Gervais set multiple times.
Because that was legit.
Yeah, that was good. That was good fucking set. I mean, I was like, damn, they got Ricky Gervais to do this? It's like 5 minutes, but it's great.
Yeah. The Cat Williams stuff was okay, but he's not. I thought the best joke in GTA 4 was the Laszlo radio show when he talks about doing radio 2.0 and all this crap. That was a good one. Thank you, Aurora Uplinks. Here's another idea, guys. 2 of you could get police uniforms and an old cruiser, permission to use it on isolated roads, and do a police chase movie, just small town popo. It's got to be Kendo and Dion. Kendo and Dion are the old town popo, and Nick and I are on our way to I don't know. We're going to film something.
I feel like we could pull that off.
Hey, glad you could do with that. I'm in.
Does it take a turn for the worse though when the cops are evil, or do we just get 2 cops that are what's her face from Superbad, and they just hang out with us and we all go on an adventure together? 2 bullshit cops and 2 bullshitters.
No, we go. No. Dion and Kendo go Super Troopers. That's how it's gonna go. That's how it has to go. Because if going evil cops is it's too depressing.
Well, see, I was thinking,
get drunk, turn on Big Bear, and get in a fight in a movie. Let's do it.
Yeah, either that. I was thinking we could do we could essentially parody "Don't Be a Menace," except for I'm the Bernie Mac role and Dion is the white cop role in that movie. I think that would work really well because. That was good cop, bad cop, but totally a parody.
Oh my god!
If you've never seen "Don't Be a Menace to South Central" while drinking your juice in the hood, 1, what are you doing with your life? And 2, if you haven't seen "Boys in the Hood," still, what are you not doing with your life? Because you need to watch both those movies.
Yeah, very much.
Yep, they're great. Especially "Don't Be a Menace." Definitely, you gotta watch. Do yourself a favor.
Oh my god, dude!
That way you know why Dashiki was born pregnant.
That's one of the few parodies during that time that was really good. Oh no, it was still during the time when parodies were good. So
yeah.
it was solid. It was 100% solid.
Yeah, because Dashiki's got more kids than Mrs. Wayans.
Does she though?
I don't know. I lost track. I lost count of the Wayans. Does Sean Wayans count as 2 since he was SW1 in Living Color and then he became Sean Wayans? Is that 2?
What you do is you count Sean Wayans twice and you forget Kim ever existed, and then it's even. That's how you.
Oh, come on now. Kim wasn't that bad.
I like her. She's actually my 3rd favorite. Well, 5th favorite one. The brothers, Sean, and then Keenan Ivory and.
They're all brothers. You got to be more specific.
They're all brothers. You mean the closer ones?
Okay, the Wayans brothers, the literal ones from the show, the Wayans brothers. So
Sean and Marlon.
Brothers, yeah, and then Keenan Ivory and Damon. They're all great, and then Kim Wayans after them because In the House was a funny show. I know it's not as good as Fresh Prince, but it was. Was it Carlton, LL Cool J, and Kim Wayans, and it was funny. I liked it as a kid.
Her best bit is in Low Down Dirty Shame, where he pretends that she wins the radio show thing because she works at a fucking perfume store. She goes, "Oh my god, I won!" And she pushes this old lady out the way. "Keep move, bitch!" And runs out and is running down the street going, "I won!" Favorite Kim Wayans bit ever.
Dear Stark says, even in WCBS, been a while. Hope you guys are having a great night. Looking forward to Wokebusters. Random button, please, and thank you. Well, I think you're going to get 2 random buttons. Here's a really fun one first.
Him massaging the can is always going to be
as soon as it popped up and there's Luke and Dago, I'm like, I know where this is going, and I'm glad it's going there.
Damn, all this training, man. I'm thirsty. Let me get me a lukewarm.
That's Krista. We're gonna find that and drink it together at Lakeside Lockdown, boys.
I think it's okay. I think I found it near me.
Good. It's gonna be regular ass beer, but we're gonna love it.
Basically, I think I found it near me.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Dear Stark, thank you very much for your kind words about Wokebusters. For all those late who missed this. There you go, guys. More looks at Wokebusters. Now, nice. I'm liking how this looked to the point where I'm probably going to get one of the action scenes animated a little later just for fun, just for us. So the car chase that I always go on about, expect that to be turned into a little animation. Adam Wofford says, I meant you don't upload on AI. That was transmitted to Earth back in 1971. That's how you get Nemesis, prototype stealth system. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I just was confused for a second. I was like, did I miss that reference?
Yeah, and I don't know what like thing he's talking about either. I'm just like prototype stealth Nemesis prototype stealth system. I don't know what particular like
Star Trek Nemesis, right? With Tom Hardy? Is that what he's talking about?
I don't.
No. There's no Nemesis is just another.
I know. What would 1971 have to do with anything Star Trek? It's whatever. What is it? 100 years after the original series?
Well, you made the joke twice. I was like, is he seriously asking?
No, he went over there.
He went over there.
Oh God, you're making.
Enrique, thank you very much. He wants to troll you, Dion. He has requested Buffalo Jeff. He didn't say how he requested Buffalo Jeff, but I think Enrique wanted this one.
You found my secret button. Lucky you. Lucky me.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Did that cleanse the palate for you, Dion?
Yeah. Tommy Wiseau was always a good choice to get back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't feel better after seeing a clip from The Room, then I mean, do you even have a soul?
I think the local theater's playing Tommy Wiseau's Shark movie and also The Room, and I think Greg Stare's going to be here in August.
Yeah, remember, Nick, I'm looking into it.
Testosterone himself.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep. It also looks like Nemesis Prototype is a board game, I think, or a video game. So
I have that what is it, Hellblade Senua's song on Xbox, folks. If you're interested in checking us out, play it, let me know, and I'll do it on Twitch. Unless you want to watch me play 2K24, I'm training to become a professional game player. No, I'm just into the game, so I'm practicing on the harder difficulties because I'm a couple years rusty, but overall, wrestling games and Tony Hawk are the two I could compete at. So I thought, hey, they're starting to do wrestling tournaments at WrestleMania. Why not get myself to that level so when we go, I can lay the smackdown because I will whoop that candy ass.
Dude, that'd be great. We should do one Twitch stream while we're at watching the Jake Paul fight that weekend or week or whatever.
Couldn't we stream ourselves to Twitch? Isn't there less copyright restriction? Like if we showed us watching the fight on Twitch, is that less of a problem?
No, it's ran by Amazon. They'd be even worse. It would be pretty bad. But no, what we can do is like before or after the fight, obviously one of those days, we can set up the Xbox and play like Halo Master Chief Edition, and just it'll be the broadcast of us trying to not die online, and us frantically trying to kill everybody like on the webcam, and so everybody can.
Nick, joke's on you. I still play Halo 3. I don't suck. If I don't get 10 kills a game, I consider it a bad game. Most games I get pretty good games. Like Dion met me when I started playing that game in college. I have not stopped. That's what I want out of gaming, though. You make Halo 4, you make Halo 5, you make Halo Infinite, you do all this shit, but you keep the Master Chief Collection alive so guys like me can just go, hey, Halo 3 was the peak online multiplayer of experience ever, and I just want to still play it. And thousands of people are on every day, and I play that game way more often than I should.
Those maps are, they were so much fun.
Dude, I played on this computer. I played on the Xbox. Like, even before I had all my shit hooked up here, I would sit up at night with my little controller and my wireless headphones. And I'd just be playing Halo. So it's my jam.
What is it? Blackout, Midship, Valhalla. Jesus Christ. So many
I'm not
fun
good
levels.
with the names, but my favorite is the one that has the grav lift that takes you up the back, and then it's got the 2 grav lifts on the side, and you can get the cannon, but you can also fall off. It's like 2 tiers. There's either everybody usually waits to watch the elevator looking thing that you jump in and you wait up there and they camp. I just like that level. Or
I think it might be Blackout. I think it might be Blackout because it's basically just like it's suspended on like the side of a mountain. It's like in. Or sometimes it's like it's just like an oil tanker or something like that in the ocean. It's one of the 2 things, like one of the 2 different levels they have. But I think that's what it is.
I really like Halo. I need to do more. Too bad the show sucks and Halo Infinite's garbage.
Oh my god, I know. Infinite was a terrible game. Game.
Halo Infinite is such a piece of crap. I only played about 10 hours of it and just I didn't even I removed it from my Xbox last week. I never touched it. And I bought in, dude. I bought the toys. I bought the Mountain Dew. I got everything Halo Infinite, like getting ready for this game, and it shit the bed. So I gave up on it.
It was like me in the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes movie. Like you just bought in too early, and then that was the problem.
I don't even think I have any of those Master Chief figures up there anymore. Good riddance. Aurora Uplinks, thank you very much. So take $100,000, hire a B-tier celebrity who is desperate to get back on top, and make an action B horror movie where a porn actor plays a cyborg chasing her. Well, Aurora Uplinks, here's the thing. Guys, help us make Wokebusters a multi-million-dollar book, and we'll do that stuff. You got to remember, this is the start of something big. I got a publishing company. We're going to call it Renaissance Comics. We're going to be doing all kinds of cool stuff. We got another book lined up for the end of the year. So let's make Wokebusters a big hit. But folks, you got to remember, just because the comic does whatever, that doesn't mean that's only comic book stuff. There's WCBS involved with all of that. So like, hey, Wokebusters made $2 million. Holy shit. What are you guys going to do with it? We're going to do some cool stuff. We might go ahead and make a small film. We might go ahead and do some cool stuff. We're going to Japan. So all you got to do is help spread the word, get yourself a couple copies, and be ready for the changing comics that you're all waiting for. Aurora Uplinks has another one. Thank you, Aurora. Key to a good film, scary villain who is actually intimidating, fun protagonist. Key point, Ray was not fun, and an interesting adventure / story and setting. I agree with all those.
Yeah, it was...
Now, scary villains, did you hear about Jason Voorhees coming back? He's in that video game, Multiverses.
No, I didn't hear about that.
It's like a Fortnite with horror characters and villains, because the Joker from Batman's in it, but it's going to be Jason Voorhees. He's in the game.
That's interesting. I know. I think Supermassive came out with another one recently that they were talking about, or they were like, or it's part of the what is it? Dead by Daylight universe. It's called The Casting of Frank Stone. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay. I like those games. They're just fun to sit through.
Yeah, it's basically you're playing through a movie. Let's see. In the summer of 1980, 4 friends set out to make their mark on horror cinema. What they capture will trigger the unthinkable, decide their fate, develop their relationships, and guide their shoot for Murder Mill. So yeah, we're getting it. It seems like the people at Dead by Daylight are making their own horror game in the fashion of Supermassive. So. If anybody knows, I'm a huge. I think also Dion's a big fan of Supermassive and what they do, because their stuff is just amazing. It's basically you playing through a horror movie, for however long it takes you to make the decision. Sometimes you kill, everybody. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you save the girl. Sometimes you don't. It's just depends on where you go.
Aurora Uplinks, thank you. I've been taking some screenshots of your ideas too. So when we do make our backwater buddy cop movie, yeah. Like, I can see it now. Like, have you ever seen
Dukes of Hazzard?
Yes, except it'll be in the backwater of Michigan. It'll be like, there'll be Yoopers. Super Youpers. There you go, Dion. You
Super Youpers.
understand
Oh my
that.
god. Oh my
Super
god.
Youpers.
That's just a trailer idea waiting to happen. Ow.
I love it.
God, no.
I love it. Youpers are some weird mofos.
My college roommate was a Youper. He used to piss his pants and hide his dirty stuff in the closet. My grandma came to visit me in college once, and it fell out. And I was like, ew.
What?
Yeah, he was a weird guy.
What the fuck?
Yep.
All right.
I never
Sure.
had another roommate in college after that.
That's
Don't
a good
blame me after
decision.
that shit.
Yeah, because the next one might cut you in your sleep or something.
Yeah, I didn't trust it.
Yeah.
We're going to read a few
Wow.
more, and then we're going to jump back into our topic, which is going to be Coach Kendo's quiz coach show. I love Eddie Murphy, says Tim Riggs with a generous super chat. He says, I love Eddie Murphy to an unhealthy level for a 40-year-old. Also, I have as much faith in Hollywood these days as someone who was an altar boy 3 times on Sunday for a decade in the church. I'm Catholic, so I can make that joke. I'm Catholic, I can read that joke, so don't worry. We're going to be okay. All we got to do is ask for forgiveness next week. But yeah, Tim, I don't have a lot of faith in Hollywood. I also don't have a lot of faith in the bigger budget mainstream stuff. Like, if you count Late Night with the Devil as a Hollywood picture, I loved it. But I don't know if that's going to be because the budget is so much smaller that there's less of the oversight or less desire to change the narrative. I don't know. But there are some good movies out there, but overall, like the big budget ones, the big ones that we all want to be, that shared experience, I'm not impressed. I liked Planet of the Apes, didn't like The Fall Guy. Liked Godzilla, but didn't like Madam Web and a couple other ones before that. So, you know, we're not hitting the most positive year of 2024, but we've had some couple winners there, Nick, like the Guy Ritchie film that we both really enjoyed, Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Ungentlemanly Warfare, yeah, that one was solid. Did you hear about the Fall Guy though? Like 17 days after it was released in theaters, it went to digital.
Yeah,
Yep.
17. Is that a new lap record?
I think it might be like 2.5 weeks. Like it's already on digital. It's already on streaming.
Am I the only one here? Nick and I both saw it, right? And that's it?
No, I told you that I saw it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how impactful that statement was, Dion.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, telling me what you guys air fried recently is more interesting than the Fall Guy.
I wouldn't say that. I think it definitely it was decent. It was decent. It was what I would say.
I don't know, it just felt like they were like they couldn't pick what they wanted to do. They kept doing like movie jokes, like, oh, let's split the screen while we're talking on the phone and talk about what we're doing. It's like, I get what you're doing, but it went on too long. And you know, some of the and also Emily Blunt beating the shit out of him in that one scene. I'm just like, come on. No.
Well, listen, I think you know it's that part of action movies is inevitable, and I mean that in that, like, yeah, it's not gonna be Star Wars level, right, where she's whipping his ass, you know, but you know, fighting the dude, you know, she's not giving him German suplexes and shit. Yeah, you know, it is fun. You know, I think the other side of it is movie fans need to realize that a punch in the face hurts. I get it. It's weird for some people that it's a girl doing it, but that wasn't. We've seen more egregious fucking action scenes, and then also too, if you're doing an action movie, you know, the biggest thing that got this movie in trouble was constantly doing the fucking will they won't they thing. That is a trope that is just played out. So, you know, that's one reason why Star Wars shit the bed. This weird need to, like, hey, we have our two main characters and it's a dude and a woman and we have to do this will they won't they thing. Instead of just having it like, hey, his crush or girlfriend or whatever make a decision. She's the director and he's trying to find this actor. Just do that. But doing this thing where he got hurt and then they were dating and then he doesn't talk to her. The motivation for the character in of itself it doesn't make any sense. If you're so in love with a girl, how is that the backdrop of the movie? Either he is or he isn't. We came for an action movie. Just do the thing. And like you said, yeah, Fall Guy was trying to do too much, but it wasn't that bad. Like I did enjoy, you know, and like they did the right thing. Aaron Taylor Johnson playing a weird asshole. He's just kind of weird, and I thought that they did a good job of playing up to that. But stop doing the will they won't they. That does nothing for the story in an action movie. It always brings it down. Every last will they won't they for the last 10 years that's the part of the part that people like the least. You know,
Also,
so.
the thing that I like the least is the fact that this was essentially Tropic Thunder, but lesser in every way. It's the same kind of like meta narrative, like the meta jokes that were done 16 years ago, excuse me. And so I like, so I laughed a lot in The Fall Guy, Ryan Gosling's parts at least. I found her annoying, and I don't normally find her annoying in other movies. Like Live, Die, Repeat, I have no problem with Emily Blunt. I don't have a problem with her in other movies, but I did not like this character at all. I didn't like the producer and the actor that played her. Aaron Taylor Johnson is what he's supposed to be. And I liked the black dude that was the prop guy. That was, what's his face's buddy. But I'm not really surprised that the movie's kind of... The audience that's going to go out and support movies right now is not that audience. It's Planet of the Apes, it's Dune, it's Godzilla, it's science fiction right now is what it is. Those are the people that are going to spend money to see shit in theaters. Mad Max is going to make money. We're going to talk about that after we quiz Coach Kendo. Like, I don't think that kind of movie justifies being on a big screen anymore. I think people want to be taken to other worlds or see crazier shit. Just seeing explosions on a movie screen, I don't think that's enough to get people out there. It's got to be like monsters and shit, sadly.
So then harking on that, what do you think about Bad Boys? What is it, Bad Boys for Life or Bad Boys Forever?
Yeah,
next month, or sorry, not even next month, in like a couple of weeks, I think.
Yep.
Who's talking about it? Honestly,
that's true. That's
true.
That's very true.
One, I don't think Will Smith has the curb appeal that he used to. I understand that he has the legacy and the lineage of these films in a great back catalog that are going to draw people back in. But I do think there's enough people out there that will just wait for it later to watch it. So I don't think Will Smith has the appeal. Martin Lawrence is kind of just here or there. Bad Boys wasn't very good. And then I think this movie's going to do like $35-40 million. That's it. Like, I don't think it's going to be a hit at all. I say Beverly Hills Cop is more successful because of like Netflix streaming, but like, I don't think it'll be, if Beverly Hills Cop were to come out, I think it would make about what Bad Boys would make. I don't think there's just a market for that.
I mean, like, there is, but had they done it, every 5 or maybe 10 years, it would have been fine, but they waited too long to do these last two, and it's been strange. Yeah, I'm with you. The last one was, it was okay. And then this one, they have Joe Pantoliano come back as like a fucking videotape. It's like, you killed him. Why not just like be done with it? But alas, here we are. This is Hollywood. Nobody really dies. So
yeah, well, yeah, and yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. And I think Bad Boys is a perfect fucking example of that. Like, it is. I think it'll make its budget back, just barely, because and I said it when 3 came out. It's the way that I always explain. Anyone asks me about 3, they tried to do the kung fu movie storyline where it's the the long lost enemy of one of the main heroes, and turns out that they were in love, and then they had a kid, and the kid is just like his dad, and they butt heads, and they eventually have to fight, and now. That just wasn't what you should have done for a Bad Boys sequel. And yeah, like to your point about what people spend money on, the only other action movie of the same ilk that I can remember off the top of my head that was successful was John Wick, but even then John Wick opens up this whole new world. So, if it's not something that's new or a background that the people who pay for movies can get invested in, it's tough to sell, and yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think Bad Boys will just barely make its money back. And yeah, Will Smith is at the point where his name is enough to get you curious about what he's doing, but not necessarily spend money to go see it in theaters. And yeah, I mean, obviously we're gonna go see Mad Max this weekend, but yeah, I'll watch the new Bad Boys because I love the Bad Boys movies. But yeah, outside of casual fans, casual Bad Boys fans, casual action movie fans, yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think, especially Martin Lawrence, because that dude just looks like fat Martin Lawrence now. So yeah, I'm with you. Everyone's barely gonna make a dent, let alone do anything big.
It's a stream it movie, man. It's a stream it movie.
Fat Martin Lawrence, Jesus.
Yeah. If you just want to sit in the theater to go see a movie, those people will go see Bad Boys. But yeah, not the same people that are going and seeing Dune 2 and shit.
Nope. All right, Kendo, how are you feeling, sir?
Yeah. Good.
You ready to be quizzed?
Let's do it.
All right, folks, we're going to play Quiz Coach Kendo. This week's quiz, World War II. So we're actually going to share the screen with you guys. Kendo, this is an on-screen quiz. It's going to be... Now, do you want it to be a timer bonus or do you not want a timer bonus?
Let's go with the timer boner.
All right. So I looked at this earlier. It's 4 questions. So are you ready? Multiple choice.
Let's go.
All right, here we go, folks. Kendo, World War II started when Germany invaded which country?
Poland.
Correct. Which of these best describes Blitzkrieg, which was the key to Germany's early success in the war? Economic
Quick
sanctions.
coordinated attacks.
There you go. All right, I don't need to read it then. Early in the war, in his first address to the British House of Commons, Prime Minister Winston Churchill said, "I have nothing to offer but..."
Blood, toil, tears, and sweat.
Correct.
Ooh.
After World War I, France built the Maginot Line, a string of border fortifications considered impenetrable. How did the German army overcome the Maginot Line in World War II?
They went around it.
That's correct.
Oh.
Which technology helped the UK defeat Germany's months-long air offense against the Battle of
Radar.
Britain? Correct. Which fortuitous circumstance caused U.S. losses at Pearl Harbor? Heavy foil?
The carriers were out, so no carriers in port.
Okay, no American
All was left with
aircraft.
some
Nope.
battleships.
There you go. Correct. Because Japan conquered the Dutch East Indies, which of these goods was first to be rationed in the United States? Pineapples, sugar, typewriters, or tires?
Tires, because it was rubber, I think.
That is
Where the
correct.
rubber trees were at.
Oh.
Japan launched an attack on the U.S. mainland by using which curious method? Amphibious tanks, scuba diver, helium balloons, trained dolphins?
Helium balloons.
That is correct. Which of these was the key to the U.S. success at the Battle of Midway? Having better aircraft, having better trained pilots than the Japanese, having cracked the main Japanese naval communications code, or having a larger fleet?
They cracked the codes, so they knew when they were coming and they were ready for them.
Correct. Based on the year they were first produced, which name was given to one of Japan's most highly effective
Zeros.
fighters? Correct. Which city was the site of a 900-day siege during World War II?
Leningrad.
Leningrad it is. Referring to a desperate maneuver used to sink Allied ships, kamikaze literally means what?
Divine wind.
Which language was used by the U.S. military to encode a message that were never deciphered by the enemy during World War II?
I would be murdered if I did not know this one. Navajo.
Yep, I remember that movie. The German military operation codenamed Valkyrie hoped to assassinate which leader?
Adolf Hitler.
Correct. The Tuskegee Airmen constituted a U.S. Army unit consisted of an Army unit drawn from which group? African Americans.
Dion will kill me if I don't know this one. African Americans.
I remember that movie as well. The U.S. president, or which U.S. president won the Navy and Marine Corps medal for his heroism during World War II?
John F. Kennedy.
Who the hell is John F. Kennedy? Operation Bodyguard provided a critical support for the Allies' D-Day invasion in which way? Teaching American soldiers French phrases, raising money by selling war bonds, using deception to distract German forces, or assassinating key German generals?
Distraction of the German forces. They set up all the shit in Calais.
A precursor to Nazi extermination camps, the Holocaust by bullets happened during which of these events? Germany's occupation of France, Germany's conclusion of the alliance with Italy, Germany's participation with the Spanish Civil War, or Germany's invasion of the USSR?
Germany's invasion of the USSR.
Correct. American General Anthony C. McCall famously responded nuts when asked to surrender during which battle?
Battle of the Bulge.
Correct. Little Boy and Fat Man were nicknames for what?
Atomic bombs.
Correct. Still the home of a U.S. military base, which place was the site of the last major battle of World War II?
Okinawa.
Correct.
That's where Chosen's from.
The country suffered the most military deaths by far during World War II. US,
Soviet
France,
Union.
Soviet Union. Anticipating security needs after the war, the United States Operation Paperclip thought to do what? Disable, or you know this.
I literally just read a book about that. Recruit Nazi scientists.
Kendo, you got 100%. And can't out quiz Coach Kendo here on World Class Bullshitters. So,
Bang, bang.
folks, Coach Kendo, another 100%. I'm working on something for you. I just didn't have the time to finish this. But
I believe that's 23 drinks to the audience.
that's 23 drinks to the audience.
How the turntables. That's my motherfucking boy right there.
I'm working on this for you. Look at the big brain on Kendo. This is just some bullshit I typed in as a joke, and AI made this. So I was going to have that as a random button as a joke tonight, but I couldn't finish it in time. So I will correct the typos, and we'll put that as a button for you. You'll get you have 2 of those now. When you collect 10 in a row, I will send you something as a gift from I don't know, all the fallen. I don't know. Fuck it. We'll have something funny for you. But folks, that's another 100% for Coach Kendo. Now, coming up next on the show, we're going to be talking about Ticketmaster getting sued. We're going to talk about Mad Max doesn't need Mad Max, apparently, a Star Trek reboot, Temple of Doom turning 40, and our final Explain a Film Plot Badly for the evening. That's how we'll close out tonight's show. But before we jump into anything else, we had a bunch more messages rolling. So Aurora Uplinks, thank you for both of these. The cost of hamburgers rising is why we aren't getting more Terminator films. No red cities with low wages to shoot low-budget crowd scenes. Catering too. Aurora,
You think hamburgers are more? Go get yourself a chicken sandwich.
Jeez, that's you're better off going to catch a chicken yourself and then fucking fix it up and just
I think it's time for us to start a food truck since we can cook and just go offer like good food to people that are just they can't. It'll be like somehow cheaper than it is to go out to a restaurant or go to Kroger and get your food. So you just come to our food truck and get like a quality meal. It'll be good. We'll make it. Dion's a hell of a cook. So am I.
That'll be a great branch out for the WCBS brand.
it's better than giving those hand jobs.
Right. At least more sustainable.
I don't know, man. You'll always have 2 hands, so you'll always have 2.
Yeah, but man, I don't know if I gotta get some more fucking athletic tape.
Yeah, you gotta get ready, man. Because you got some. We're getting close to 200K, man. Your wrists are gonna be tired. All right, Aurora Uplinks. What's cheapest with any? World Class Bullshitters. What's cheapest with any shooting location that you think you guys could do something like, but not Trouble / spinoff reboot? Oh wait. You think I could do nothing but Trouble reboot?
We got to use that connection.
Yeah.
No, there's an idea that I've had in my head for a bit now. There's an Instagram account called Sunglass Kid, and he's a UK dude who does a lot of like synthwave stuff. I've sent Jeff and these guys like a couple of the songs, I think.
Oh yeah.
I love to take one of his like 90-second songs that he does and turn it into it's just a song over us doing actions, but it's us. The actions are us doing like Miami Vice stuff. That's all it is. That's all it is. There's no lines. It's just like Jeff and Ian in the car, me as the morgue guy, maybe Kendo as the captain screaming at them, and then we get a couple of people we know be bad guys. We do some shootouts, we do some, naked lady scenes or whatever in the strip club or whatever.
We should film these in Japan as well. We should do a couple of these.
And just do that. Like, I already know a couple of companies that'll have the ridiculously colorful shirts. We can, get some from them. And we just need some file footage and just some close-ups. And it literally would take a weekend. It would take a weekend to shoot. It wouldn't take long.
Well, we'll film one in New Year's, Nick. So that'll be our first one. We'll be together. Well, we should do like a hillbilly version at Lakeside Lockdown.
That's entirely fine. I'll have all my equipment. We can do a lot of stuff with it.
Yeah, we'll start mapping that out. Wokebusters is first, folks. Then Lakeside Lockdown. But Aurora Uplinks. Let's see. We would definitely have to go to Georgia to shoot. But I would never do a remake or a reboot of Nothing But Trouble. That movie is nothing but terrible. Have you guys seen
Guilty
that
pleasure. I love that movie.
It's been a long time since I've seen Nothing
It's
But
so
Trouble.
bad. It's
so awful. That's an awful.
It's so bad. I love that movie though. Like first time I saw it was a kid on like HBO or Showtime at like midnight when I was like 8 or 9.
No.
And I'm like, dude, this movie's great. I love this movie. And I can sit there and say this movie is terrible. It is poorly written. It is poorly directed. It is poorly acted. It just Chevy Chase is mailing the whole thing in. You could tell he did it as a favor to his friend Dan Aykroyd. But God damn it, I love that fucking movie. I wish I would have bought it for the $5 DVD in the Walmart bin like 15, 20 years ago because that thing's out of print. You cannot get that son of a bitch now. But That is a guilty pleasure movie. It is. I will be the first one to admit how fucking terrible it is, but I love it.
Yeah,
I get why someone would absolutely love it though. Like it's definitely one of those movies. It's definitely one of those fucking movies.
Yeah, I mean it has all the right people in it. It has the right cast. I mean, yeah, hell, even Tupac's in it. But it just it just didn't move the needle. There was no spark and there was no fire. It just didn't hit, and it just was not really good.
I never need to watch it again, but Demi Moore does look good in it. So
she does look great in it.
He looks good in it. Like Demi Moore, like early '90s Demi Moore, like Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Demi Moore.
Oh yeah.
It's prime lady. Still looks good though. I gotta say, one thing I never realized about Demi Moore is she's the producer on the Austin Powers movies. So good for her. She's a part of some good shit. Xavier to God says fuck Mary Kill TMNT 1992 and 2007. Kendo, you're the resident TMNT expert. Please take it away.
So this is, people might not expect this one, but the first one, I'm marrying TMNT 1990. You expect that.
Yes.
But I'm fucking 2007 and I'm killing TMNT 2.
Same.
Because they gimped that movie quite a bit because of the violence aspect of it and how dark the first one is. Like, Britain was like, oh, you can't have Michelangelo swinging nunchucks because we got a bunch of fucking idiot kids that have turned around swinging stuff around and bash themselves in the head. But Leonardo can carry around a sword. Yeah, that makes a lot of fucking sense. No wonder we had to save your ass twice.
Only Winston Churchill would have been there for it.
Oh, God.
Since I echo Kendo, anybody have any differing opinion? Or Dion, you're probably a diehard Secret of the Use fan, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, totally. No, I agree for sure. Not 2 is just not very. It's better than 3. Kinda.
That bar is not a very high bar. Oh, the Michael Bay ones; those are not better than 3. I would watch 3 on repeat all day, as opposed to watching the 2, fucking Michael Bay turtles.
I don't know if I will watch 3 all day on repeat because I don't like the first Michael Bay movie, but I've seen shittier Ninja Turtles. Like that TV show is a shittier show than that Michael Bay movie that he only produced.
I'll give you that Mutant Mayhem is worse than that. Like I had to turn that one off. That one was insulting.
If the Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies had great designs, I wouldn't hate them as much because they go do zany shit in those movies. Like they go snowboarding down that mountain. That's something the cartoon characters would have done. So if they would have,
I'll give you that.
So if like the shit they did, like when they're hanging out at Madison Square Garden and pulling up the pizza, if it was just what I recognize as the Ninja Turtles, I probably would have went and gone, all right, those aren't great, but they're like the first Transformers movie. There are shittier movies out there to be more bothered by than this movie. And then it's not a compliment. It's not a compliment.
Bad because that's the only scene of the second Michael Bay ones that I like. It's that snowboarding and it's like hitting the fucking Jeep and shit. That's literally the only part of that movie that I like.
It's so dumb. It's not a good film.
It's incredibly sad when like the metric for this is like there are shittier movies than this shitty movie.
Right. So if the Turtles were more like they're supposed to be instead of the way they made them for those movies, I would like it a little bit more. If the Foot Clan was actually a ninja society instead of domestic terrorists, I think I would have liked it a little bit better. Well, they might even just be international terrorists because there were a lot of more Japanese looking. If the guy that ran the company wasn't the Shredder, I think things would have been a whole lot better. Yeah, I hated the origin story, but I forgive it slightly because of the IDW comics. That's kind of the origin story for the new series of the Turtle comics that started out like 15 or so years ago. But I know I got thrown for a loop because I went and saw it the day it came out, but I didn't see it until later the day. My mom and my nephew went and saw it like right when it came out. My mom's like, oh, it was so good. It was such a fun movie. I didn't know that April O'Neil had the turtles when they were babies as her pets. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? That's not what fucking happened.
My cousin called me out of the blue. This cousin that I see all the time, but we've never really hung out since we were kids. He goes, hey, there's a new Ninja Turtles movie. We should go see it. And I'm like, okay. And I just randomly went and saw it. And neither of us were like, it was good. Neither of us thought it sucked. We were just like, all right, how you been? And we talked for 3 hours in the parking lot. So that's all I think about with that movie. Is, oh, it was fun, but it wasn't a good film. I don't remember much about it at all. Aurora Uplinks, thank you very much. You know what would be scary? A horse snake, legless horse, larger than an anaconda, with a bushy mane, long across its back. It could neigh, but it wouldn't gallop. Ooh.
Aurora Uplinks, you need to look up a wonderful filmmaker who unfortunately passed very recently, Roger Corman, and the weird animal combinations he did.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
I was going to say they're not a sponsor of the show, but BetterHelp.com. That's what you can go to, Aurora Uplinks.
Hold on
you
a
got
second.
maybe
dark stuff floating around in that head of yours that you might want to talk to somebody about.
Maybe go look up the Asylum production company. They have some weird things that are real fun, like Cocaine Shark and things like that. Yeah, but Corman did Sharktopus. He did Piranaconda. He did like something wolf. I forget. He's done like a lot of these animal combinations that like were just ridiculous sci-fi movies over the past, I want to say 20 plus years. He's done them recently, or in the last 20 years, obviously. But he would do that for a bit, and then before that, he was doing slashers and 80s space movies and stuff.
Yep.
Before he did that. But yeah. Unfortunately, we lost him.
The fucking legend.
Yeah, 99 years old. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And he was still making movies at that time. He was still like on set making stuff, producing.
Very
things.
good long life.
Yeah, he's been in. He would think he was in Hollywood for like 50 plus years, 60 years, maybe. I don't know. He was there for a while.
I'm sure he's seen some shit and knew where the bodies were buried.
Listen, man.
Probably that's why he never like attained a certain level. He's like, I'm just gonna stay here and do my own thing.
Yep. Dude,
he saw some bodies like, no, fuck this.
Pretty much copied after him too. So,
yeah,
Roger Corman. Don't get me wrong. Not every hit can be a homer, but that dude was a fucking film maker.
Yeah. God, he had a book as well. Let me see if I can look it up. The name is super interesting.
Hey, Aurora Uplinks, I typed in your prompt into AI, and this is what it came up with. Horse with anaconda legs.
That's weird.
See, that's just weird. It looks like an anaconda trying to eat the horse.
Yeah.
And there's this one.
What?
And then there's this thing.
Oh,
see, that looks a little bit better and weird, but better.
That's strange. But by the way, Roger Corman's book is called "How I Made 100 Movies in Hollywood and Never Lost a Dime." So,
I am gonna read that book or listen to it read to me on Audible in his memory because I respect that man's hustle.
Oh my god, dude!
Even though it was made just to be held onto the rights for, his Fantastic Four movie is still the best Fantastic Four movie because it got the characters right. It's hokey, but so are the comic books. And if that movie had a budget, it would be the best one.
Yeah.
And he's the one that coined the phrase that I live by on this show is, you can have a message, but the story has to come first. The person watching your movie has to have fun. And the dude was 100% right. That motherfucker could make a Fantastic Four movie with $100,000 and a week. Like that dude, if you could say, well, I want to make movies. If I could just have like just a base package of skill set, you'll pick Roger Corman and you will be
100%. 100%. Yeah. Highly recommend the book. It's really good. But no, he's an expert at making stuff. He's been doing it for, like I said, 50, 60 years at least. He's great. But yeah, he was super, super old. I think he even was on one of the episodes of The Last Driving with Joe Bob, I think last year or 2 years ago, talking about one of his movies. But man, he's a fucking legend. I know he got his Lifetime Achievement Award from the Oscars. I want to say like in 2005, 2007, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So at least they acknowledged him.
He got one before Harrison Ford. Got it. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, now guys, I wanted your take on this, Dion, since you're our resident Star Trek guy. You heard they're rebooting Star Trek again?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Now, for those out there who do not know, here's the context for the story. So, our good pal, Simon Kinberg, in talks to produce a Star Trek movie franchise for Paramount. Now, we're going to give you the full story here. So, the multi-hyphenate is in talks to produce a new Star Trek feature for Paramount Pictures. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed, if all goes well, the door would open to him taking on the role of the active creative role for the rest of the storied franchise's film side. Alex Kurtzman and Eva Goldsman are the main creative producers on the Star Trek television side. The project Kinberg would step into is already in very active development. Toby Haynes, who directed episodes of episodes of Star Wars Andor, is on board to direct the new feature, with Seth Grahame-Smith writing the script. It's said to be set decades before the events of the 2009 movie that were directed by J.J. Abrams, likely around modern times. It's said to involve the creation of Starfleet and humankind's first contact with alien life. Abrams remains involved with the new project as a producer. There is no release date for the feature, but the studio has signaled that it would like a 2025 opening. The machinations of the franchise take place against the backdrop of potential sale of Paramount, which could find itself under new ownership of Sony or Skydance. What do you guys think of what I just told you?
So it was perfect, and one of the reasons why Jeff has been such a great addition to the Green family is because of timing. Now, this subject came up at a perfect time where, as Jeff just said, being a huge Star Trek fan, the other huge Star Trek fan that I know and grew up with happened to walk into the room and heard you fucking read that. So I'm saying this not just for my family members here in the chat, but also for my darling fellow fan, my sister. That being said, I knew it. I say it all the time. Nick and I have basically said it enough that it should be a t-shirt. Stop listening to Twitter, because everyone that fucking supposedly was going to watch Discovery, everyone that was supposedly going to love Picard, they didn't. They didn't. And I literally had a conversation with a dude. We went to Kohl's, and he heard my fucking my notification is the old communicator from Star Trek. He was like, "You're a Star Trek fan?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, Have you watched Picard? I was like, "I started and I didn't." He goes, "Yep, I just got back into it just to see the ending, and it wasn't that bad. Star Trek's not been doing well." I was like, "I know. Star Trek has not been doing well." And it was only a matter of time. Now, I'll give Paramount and obviously what's the dude's name that pretty much just oversees Star Trek? That franchise has never been scared to reboot when needed. And it's not entirely out of character. But that being said, no, I'm not fucking surprised. And if it comes out in 2025, Paramount's been rushing stuff that might not be a very good idea, because they were, very much, that was part of Discovery's problem, was they were rushing shit out without actually being like, is this a Star Trek story? So yeah, I am surprisingly, I'll say shortly that I'm optimistic, because Star Trek fans are not immune, or it's no stranger that they reboot something. But yeah, man, because Beyond wasn't great. It's been in development hell ever since, even though Chris Pine's on board, then he's not. You want to release it 2025, you want to do in the same universe. What in a lot of things that Star Trek fans have said that I agree with is, if they wanted to reboot it, especially if they wanted to do a major thing, they should go back to the 22nd century with Captain Archer, which fans have been asking for, and do the fucking beginning of the Federation. But again, Star Trek is a very hard-headed franchise, and I'm not surprised. But hey, at the same time, we all needed it. We all needed it.
Nick, you're a Star Trek guy.
Yeah, it was something I loved before I got into Star Wars. But no, I remember watching Star Trek Enterprise when I was able to, and I became a huge fan of it. That show was great. They should have I think it was cut off too early because UPN was getting sold or something like that, and it didn't work out. And no, I'm with you, Dion. They need to make a movie of that crew and that ship. That would be great. But also, isn't there a lot of Star Trek on right now? You have Lower Decks, you have, I think Picard ended, Discovery's still going. Isn't there 2 or 3 more shows on now, or am I just imagining something?
No, you're not wrong. I mean, Below Decks is probably the only thing that's actually pretty good. I've watched a couple episodes of it. It's kind of fun. You can tell that it was trying to distance itself from shit like Discovery. Discovery, I think Discovery has been announced its ending. But not a lot of people watch it again. It's Discovery's a Twitter, every franchise has their fucking Twitter community essentially. And there are people who claim to love it, but it's not, Discovery of all the shows is probably the most fucking boring. And then, Picard just ended. So, and even then Picard, it started off great. And in the middle, it was bad. Like it wasn't very good. It was boring as shit. And then the last few episodes here, I still have to watch the finale. But yeah, it's, they kind of finally started getting their shit together. It was a big deal. The whole crew got together again for the final time here for the last season of Picard. Picard wasn't great, but, and then I forget. Thank you, Darian 217. Everyone was excited because they were going to bring Janeway back, and they did, because she was in a couple episodes of Picard. They were going to do a show, and it was going to be her Admiral Janeway, and they canceled it. So so there are things on TV. It's just they're not making the best decisions for Star Trek. So it was them rebooting the movie was only a matter of time. So, but yeah, the shows, it's been very hit or miss. They've been very, very hit or miss.
Yeah, and I mean, I watched Enterprise. And it was a lot of fun because you had Captain Archer. He was like one of the first ones to like communicate, talk to the Vulcans and try to get technology from them, but he couldn't because they were being closed-lipped, and we had to discover. It was a whole like weird thing he had to deal with, and he was like in the middle of like bureaucracy and like trying to take care of his crew. It was a really interesting dynamic because he was like dealing with so much and trying to like take care of the people around him as well. And it was I don't know, I really enjoyed that show. And also you had fucking dude from Quantum Leap in there, and he was fucking great. I love that guy. But it just felt like that was Scott Bakula. But it just felt like that was a more accurate Star Trek show that we've gotten in a long time. Even though it was going backwards, it was even though it was like, a prequel to the other stuff, it just felt better taken care of. And they were doing a lot more fun stuff with. They even had like a whole time travel element with like the temporal war that happened in that whole series that was really fun. Even the bad guys in it there was an overarching thing with the bad guys. I forget what they were called, but like they were really menacing. Like it was really a fun show. Then all of a sudden it abruptly ended because I think UPN was getting sold or the show wasn't doing too well. But it lasted. I want to say it lasted 5 seasons, maybe 4.
I think it was 4. I think it was 4. Because they canceled it after the 3rd season, and the fan base UPN canceled it, and then the fan base made such a ruckus that they pretty much forced the studio to do a 4th season. And it was one of the I know a lot of people have it really high up there. It's Archer's my favorite captain. And it's Enterprise is probably the last good pound for pound show. I mean, obviously Below Decks is kind of funny, but that's a comedy. But in terms of pound for pound, it's the last good one. It was right when the Federation started. So, and then it was Enterprise NX, and then it was the first ship that went out and started interacting with other species. But it was because it started at the point of First Contact, where the dude played by the channel favorite, human beings went into the warp age. So Enterprise was, hey, you have the Earth. It's the beginning of the Earth fleet. The first episode is a Klingon lands on Earth, and the crew of the Enterprise takes him back to Kronos, and that's where we meet who will eventually become the Sphere. So the villains too, and I think that's a great point, Nick. Is Star Trek is great when the villains are great. Mm-hmm. Especially not just for sci-fi, but for movies and film. The thing that always kept Star Trek around was they had great fucking villains, and one of the greatest villains in all Star Trek lore are the Sphere Builders that we meet in Enterprise, who, the Enterprise, the Federation of Planets whoops their ass, and they go back in time to try to essentially destroy Earth, because, human beings were the ones that, even though we were the youngest spacefaring species, we were one of the reasons why the Federation was created. So it was a fucking interesting, and the fans wanted the arc to close. Even though we wanted a 5th season, it was, hey, who are those dudes that are trying to kill this Klingon, fucking hate humans for whatever reason. You know, then that was where we saw the first of the Enterprise J from the 27th century or 28th century. So, you know, the universe around Star Trek was very in depth, but they contained it in the TV shows, and then the movies either were good continuations besides Insurrection and Nemesis, obviously. And it was in those universes, and these new shows, they, you know, Star Trek stays relevant between films because of the shows. And right now, the last two films, I mean, I like In the Darkness, but Beyond wasn't fucking great. And then Discovery is the show. You know, Captain Pike kind of gets a little bit more interest. And they kind of didn't, you know, he should have been, I think, focused on more. But Discovery wasn't a great show. And Picard was so boring. And it just, yeah, you have to, Star Trek lives and dies by the in-between with the TV shows. And they just couldn't give us great villains or interesting captains. I can't remember the captain's name from Discovery, but you know, that's what's wrong with listening to the internet. They're in the 22nd century. Like, we've gotten kind of over the whole, like, you know, I'm a black woman captain, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's not, it's been the one thing established in all Star Trek is they don't care about that anymore because we had World War III. We went over that shit. So the show is progressive in that they wouldn't worry about that shit. And Discovery can't let it go. And those Twitter fans can't let it go. And that's not Star Trek. And they just having to come up with a new movie was only a matter of time. OG Star Trek fans know that, you know? So yeah, man. They just got it. They couldn't let it go.
But like what Jeff read from the article, like, seems like they want to remake First Contact. First Contact, I actually love. That's one of my favorite Star Trek movies. It's so much fun and it's so ridiculous of just what's happening. Like half the crew's on Earth and like that time period. The other half is trying to like stop the Borg on the ship and like do a whole thing. It's a wonderful movie. It really is. It's a lot of fun. And they're trying to remake it now. Like, it, I don't know. It's weird. It's just like,
well, it's the only, I mean, really it's I mean, Generations is hokey because Shatner made a return, but you know, nope. First Contact is, I mean, pound for pound, the best of the Picard movies. So I get the desire to keep it, you know, and them trying to redo it. It's like, yeah, don't. But I get it. I mean, it's you have the iconic scene of, you know, Alfred Woodward's in No Contact. I mean, it has a fucking stellar cast where, you know, it brings together, because Picard is an interesting character. That's why they brought him back. The dichotomy of his love of the Enterprise and his hatred of the Borg. And he's like, blow up the ship, because she's like, fuck, we gotta save the timeline. You guys can just live here, blah, 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 blah. You know, the Borg, we gotta get like, she understands it as a human at the end of World War III. And he's like, no, and he freaks out and he fucking bashes the fucking thing and freaks out because of his hatred of the Borg. And we didn't get that. We don't have that in Discovery, and they didn't bring that back in Picard. But you know, you have to have a great bad guy and you have to have an interesting captain. And Star Trek just doesn't. They lost it, you know. And obviously, Prodigy was the Janeway thing. Shout out to Darian 217, you know. But that's why people were excited about it, because you know Janeway was awesome, but she had to deal with the Borg too. But she understood their threat. She didn't hate them as much as Picard hated them. You know, Captain Archer was awesome, you know, but his thing was, you know, his character's thing was his undying devotion to getting us to the future. Yeah. And you know, finding out that the sphere builders, you know, they hate they hate Starfleet. And his thing was, you know, he hated going into the future. That was the great thing about Archer, was he wanted to stay in his time. They did a fucking Enterprise had that great. There was always a great other universe episode, and the one from Enterprise is one of the best ones, where it's evil Archer, and they find shit from the 20th century, and because the humans are at war with the Vulcans and at war with the rest of the galaxy, and the characters were fucking good with a good villain, and they just didn't fucking have it, man. They just don't have it.
Yeah, I remember the 2-episode arc, because like everybody wasn't like skin tight outfits. Even the women were like scantily clad outfits, and they were like the evil versions of themselves. It was really good. Like, it was a really good 2-episode arc. It was so good. It was so good.
It was awesome.
Really good.
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But
man.
but even then, that was a great callback because that was the Empire. That was a callback to the episode from the original series where they come across Evil Kirk and from that, and that's the same universe. That's how they got to the next stage of the 23rd century. Was a wormhole opened up and the ship came through, and they took that shit and used it to get to the next phase of their development. So there was always something reaching across the aisle in Star Trek, and they just never replicated it, or at least had a damn mirror. Thank you. That's
mirror. That's what it was. Not Black Mirror. Mirror. That's what it was.
Yep. He's my boy. Another Star Trek fan. That's a great fucking episode, and it's always it's connected, and all the characters are done well. Even though if they focus on one character, it's done well. And Discovery just didn't fucking have that, man. Just didn't have it.
I tried watching it as well, and it was just like you said, it was too much of this like modern bullshit and something that where like all this stuff is over with. Like they even had a guy in a wheelchair rolling around the ship. I'm like, it shouldn't be that way. Like he should be able to have like metal legs, or there's like some nano fucking bots that you can put in there to fix his legs. Like this doesn't fucking work. I'm sorry. It doesn't.
The handicap need representation, Nick.
It's the 23rd century. There's no longer.
Are you saying
anymore.
that? What are you trying to say? That we're going to get rid of all of them? So see, there you go, folks. Nick is calling for the elimination of all handicapped people.
Jeez, Nick, come on. We're in a new 2024. Positivity.
Yeah. Fucking empathy, man.
That's not a world-class move, Nick. I'm disappointed in you.
That's low-class move. That is, folks, the views expressed by Nick Utam on this channel do not represent all of world-class bullshitters or their, subsidies.
Yes. Like
Toronto, Deep Space Nine was more of a floating bus station. Get it right. Come on.
Floating bus station.
But that was great. That show was in one fucking place, and it was Cisco was pretty much that dude. His thing was his undying devotion to the Federation. When they take over, he gets tagged to watch over a fallen Dominion space station, and there's a fucking there's a one Starfleet officer defects, and that motherfucker makes it to where the people that he defected to can't live on the planet. And he's like, I will do this to every world unless you surrender. And the dude's like, what the fuck, Cisco? He's like, you don't know what war is. He's like, you betrayed the Federation. You didn't do your duty, and you're gonna pay for it. Like that dude, and the motherfucker's and the guy that plays Cisco's crazy in real life. Like they just don't have those. They don't have great characters in Star Trek anymore.
They don't. It's terrible, really.
Well, I think this movie will have the same appeal as that new Quiet Place because it seems like apocalyptic shit. It's just the most basic storytelling seems to be the one that most people are running out to go see, which means we're like 5 steps away from ass sweeping the Best Picture nominations in the future. But a movie about aliens invading Earth and, meeting humanity for the first time, if it's got the right amount of action and a brand name, I expect it to do well. But am I excited for it? No, come on. We've been talking about Hollywood all night. Have they delivered in a while? On occasion they have, but on average, we're still kind of like in a weird gray place. So
yeah, but it's been fewer than more. I mean, it's just been like less than usual. It seems like last year I thought it was bad. This year's even worse. Like
last year started off awesome, dude. Mario.
No, that's true. It did. It did. But man, it just downhill. This year didn't start off that well either. I mean, we did have a couple of winners, but nothing really great. So I don't know.
Yeah, their batting average for the year ain't very high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's the and we say it all the time. The inability to come up with original shit. It's just tough for them right now, And even though last year started off great, this year it's just been so fucking hit or miss. I still have. Don't get me wrong. I still got to see Planet of the Apes and Mad Max, but it's they just struggling, man, struggling to make good shit.
Yeah. It's fucking terrible. I know. What was it? Well, and also the reason there's probably not a lot of productions happening now is because IATSE might strike if they don't get their.
I heard about that.
If they don't get their contract renewal, I think at the end of June, so they have like 6 weeks to figure the shit out. So if they don't get what they want out of the contracts, and you're talking about like Gramps, Best Boys, electrical, camera guys, things like that. Like that's the whole backbone of the film industry. If they don't get their contracts, nothing moves. Literally nothing moves. Like they will not be able to move. Like they really can't move things unless they, have a fucking union contract. So yeah, it's going to be really difficult if they don't get what they want, then production halts for X amount of days, months, whatever, until they come to the table and get the contract they want. But we'll see what happens with that. So far, I'm hearing a lot of like inklings of like they're waiting for the contract to be posted and see what it is, and then they might strike afterwards. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
All right, guys. Well, let's check back in with the audience since we had some awesome Star Trek talks, and then we'll see if anybody said anything about Star Trek as well. Folks, if you haven't, hit that thumbs up button to let YouTube know that you enjoy this content and spread us all across the internet. Now, Aurora Uplinks is back with a couple more ideas. Thank you, Aurora. You guys just sparked an idea for me. You guys do a movie about a quiz show. The punishment on the show is a man-hater gets to insult any wrong answer. So this show features the man-hater for the first day and for its first week-long series of episodes for contestants. Each day features a new punishment. Are we getting that's a separate one. One of my favorite SNL skits was the game show, the dark game show, where they would like zap Chris Farley with a car battery and shit. Maybe we can do dark game show one day. Like Wokebusters is the last thing that'll have us in it. So the comic books and the stuff I do moving forward will be much different. But I could do a dark game show book. That'd be a lot of fun.
That has potential to be a really good skit of some sorts.
Yeah, I know. God, what was it? I know. I know Supernatural did it whenever they were dealing with what was it, Loki or whatever. There was a point where they were in a Japanese game show, and
yeah.
So
that was a good episode.
That was a fun episode.
Yeah, when the trickster, quote unquote, puts them in the TV universe, and they're on the Japanese one hits them in the nuts.
Yeah. I think we've watched that on here before.
Probably.
I think we did watch that. We might do a Patreon thing, but yeah, that was when Dean randomly started speaking Japanese.
Yeah, because he gets into it and he just starts speaking out of nowhere. I'm just like, what the fuck? Okay, sure. But yeah, that was they even did like a Kit, a Knight Rider kind of callback as well, which is weird. So I don't know. It was very strange. It was a fun episode. That was one of the funniest episodes. But
yeah, I dug that show for quite a while. I never finished it, but I think I might now that I got
same here. I haven't. I think I need to watch like the last 2 or 3 seasons and then I'll be done.
Dude,
but it's also just
what I need to stop doing is watching Dragon Ball fucking Z. Like I'm at the end of it, and I'm like, am I gonna watch Dragon Ball next? Because I'm working on like 4 stories out, this big hero's journey style thing, but I don't want to. I just want to consume as much hero's journey as I can. If Goku's an interesting character, I'm like, I'm gonna watch Dragon Ball next. I'm not gonna watch GT. Maybe I'll watch Super in the future. But yeah, if I start wearing Dragon Ball Z t-shirts, you need to all stop me.
Well, it seems like the guys who wear Dragon Ball Z t-shirts now are also the ones who go to the gym who are trying to look like Goku. Like that seems to be the thing now.
Maybe I should go to the gym and start looking like Goku. I'll keep my hair short, but I'll get super buff and I'll just scream at you guys from across the room. Just for hours. Like Jeff got weird. What's he doing? His power
Let me get my sensu beans. Let me get my sensu beans.
He's been eating too much protein and creatine. His shits are terrible.
Oh, you know it. Breaking the back of the toilet every third shit. Like, damn, man.
Kamehameha. Aurora Uplink says, are we getting live action Dragon Ball 2 with Vegeta? No, we're never going to get another live action Dragon Ball movie. That thing was garbage back in the day.
Actually, I just heard that they're doing a live action Street Fighter.
Another one?
I can get behind it. It's got to be better than the original. And
I mean,
Legend of Chun-Li.
It's not exactly very high bars.
Well, the original I view is The Room. That's kind of how I view it as. It's like, it's terrible, but I fucking love it.
Yeah, but the
Agreed.
problem for me
Agreed.
with Street
I'm gonna
Fighter
kick his ass so hard.
But my complaint with Street Fighter, even as a kid, was why is it so shitty when the Mortal Kombat movie isn't? And they came out a year apart.
Yeah.
And I've always as a child, I was just like, Mortal Kombat's like a real movie, and Street Fighter's like a stupid movie. So I've never respected the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah.
But I need to go back and watch it as an adult because I have some memories of it.
Yeah, that's
Hey, at least we got Raul. What's his name? Raul.
Julia?
Adam's family. Yeah. So at least we got that.
And you got Van Damme on coke the whole movie.
That's true. Listen, who doesn't love Van Damme on coke? Just screaming about
Kylie
kicking your
Minogue.
ass so hard.
Yeah, she was in that movie too.
Yeah. They were banging on set the whole time. I read this book on action movies, and they're talking about Van Damme's affair with her on
Van Damme's on cocaine, banging Kylie Minogue, trying to act and remember his lines in this fucking movie. Dear God, what a life! What a life!
That is Street Fighter in a nutshell.
Yep, without a doubt.
So Aurora Uplinks, I hope we don't get a Dragon Ball 2 with Vegeta. What I would want to see with Dragon Ball Z would be a nice 4K remastering, keep the film grain, have all the audio tracks, all the musical tracks, create this like super deluxe box set, and then I guess do more, but like make sure that old one's preserved better because it's kind of hard to watch that show. It looks kind of ugly, and it's not because of the way it was produced. Saints Row 2 still has the best customization of any game, says Xavier the God. Well, I agree with you, Xavier the God, and it also has Everybody Wants to Rule the World, my favorite song. So I used to fly around in a UFO and zap people with Tears for Fears playing in the background. My 2008 was a lot of fun.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
Dion knows he would come over. I had my own dorm room and a couch, like a couch that was for a living room. It was way too big for this dorm, but I had this huge couch and everyone would come over and hang out. Like we just watched movies in that room and played Saints Row 2.
Oh, yeah, man.
That was the only PS3 game I had for quite a while because everything else was on Xbox. I'm like, I'm getting one game for the PlayStation and I'm going to use this system. And I did. I played the shit out of the game. It also had this song.
Blu-ray player.
Dude, it was a great Blu-ray player.
God. Yeah.
The PS3 and PS4 are great Blu-ray players.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Xbox is a decent 4K player as well.
Nice.
Thank you, Aurora Uplinks. Starts out, don't be menace / super troopers. Maybe a crime like major crime pops up, dragging all four, and two get deputized temporarily because of no backup. Now you're speaking my language. I want us to be backup, Nick. I want us to be like Taggart and Rosewood. We got to have a scene where we're trying to like climb a wall, just like in Beverly Hills Cop. Come on, we can go around. No, go over.
Oh,
we have to have that moment.
let me start really working at it and lose a little bit more weight, and then we'll do this for sure.
That's the 2025 goal. We'll be, folks.
God.
We are in preparation for Japan. We all are taking care of ourselves differently for Japan. We will be. We'll be an American kaiju in London, in Tokyo. That'll be our story, but we'll be looking good there.
No, I did have an idea of like a thing too with us that would have been like a short comic or something, but it would have been basically the idea is that like you just had this helicopter flying towards where the outpost is, and Dion's CIA because he's wearing the glasses and the suit and the gloves. He's just very much like in a suit in the middle in like negative 30 degrees. He doesn't feel any cold. He's just like CIA, just that whole get up. Okay.
He's a robot.
I'm the pilot. Q and Kendo are in the back, like just watching him, and you're obviously a little bit like higher up in command or whatever than we are. But you're talking to him, and it's like why are we going to the middle of nowhere? And he's like, I can't tell you that. And it's just like Dion being mysterious and just being like very CIA-ish and not giving you like a straight answer, that kind of thing. And we go to that site where everything's blown up, and
I'm down. I want to make this.
I want to
make crazy shit ensues.
I dig it.
We need a brainstorming session, Nick. When I come to visit for Dragon Con, let's.
I got enough stuff to help that, so yeah, we'll be okay.
Good. That always helps. That helped Wokebusters too.
Yeah, that's true.
Aurora Uplinks, thank you very much. It says, get even start with you two trying to film a low-budget film in the town, and the police keep intervening, or public complaints lead to actions. That's very on brand. We're like investigating the Jersey Devil. No, we're investigating the Blair Witch, Nick. That's our movie.
The Blair Witch.
We got really drunk one night. We watched the Blair Witch Project. We were convinced it's real. We went to this town to film. We run into these cops. and then we get into a real crime. That's so
God. We just we run across like Colombian drug runners or something in the fucking woods. That's what happens.
Yeah, we see him burying a body. We're like, oh shit.
There we go.
We're like, oh, run! And so we're out there like trying to get away because we're
That
out
reminds
camping or
me-
doing some dumb shit.
That reminds me of the what was it? The found footage psych episode with the Big Show in it. That was actually really funny and really good.
Sorry, Dion knows that, and now Dion from another angle. I love that promo so much.
It's one of the best.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Aurora Uplinks, we need to deputize you to help us come up with some of our trailer ideas. But yeah, I think we should do something with Dion and Kendo as cops. It'd be a very Ebony and Ivory great situation. Like, we should frame it where people think Kendo is going to be this big racist cop. And you're like, oh God, it's one of those movies. And then Dion comes out and it's just like, Dion, that's the joke. And they just don't like us for other reasons. It's almost like Tucker and Dale. You know how that dynamic is in the beginning? It's like that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, no, I love the movie because you're seeing it from both sides and it's fucking hilarious. Like, just like because those two guys are just like they really are backwoods idiots. But being seen through the lens of the city kids and who they are, they see them as like dangerous rednecks, and it's hilarious. It's just it's such a good movie.
These kids came up here to kill themselves.
College kids. I love when the one runs into the tree and just like falls down. And
That's a crazy scene. That kid just killed himself.
No. The best one is when he jumps into the wood chipper. I'm just like, what the?
And he pulls out a torso.
That movie is so fucking good, and I feel it's one of those things that irritates the shit out of me because there should have at least been like a comic to part 2, or at least a comic like spin-off.
Hey, Nick, go look into securing the rights. We'll make it.
Yeah, because like it's so much fun, and it's so like it was an independent movie that made such a stir at the time that it should have badly like there should have been a part 2 shortly afterwards. It really should have been, but that didn't happen, unfortunately.
I'd have loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, Tucker and Dale. All right, Nick, gun to your head. Tucker and Dale versus Evil or Cabin in the Woods?
Ooh.
God, like they're both two movies in that genre, but like they're both entirely different, and they both kind of shake up the genre in a good way. That's the thing. That's the thing is like they're really iconic for that. Fuck. I'm gonna go Tucker and Dale because I've met both those guys and they're both fucking wonderful and hilarious in real life. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, even though Cabin in the Woods is really good, and there should have obviously been a spinoff of that too, with like the two guys at the control center and more like stuff happening with with that. That would have been wonderful to do a movie like that. In fact, it's one of those things. Like every time I saw a movie after that movie, I thought there would be a cutscene at the end where those guys would be in the control room and be like, "Fuck it, another one didn't work." Shit, like that would have been funny, but we didn't.
It could have tied so many different stories together.
Yeah, we didn't get that. So.
Enrique Vasquez has a Fuck, Marry, Kill for us, guys. Don't Be a Menace, Hot Shots Part 2, and Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh,
this one's quite easy for me because I'm marrying Not Another Teen Movie. I absolutely love that film. I will fuck Don't Be a Menace, and I will kill Hot Shots Part 2 because I didn't like that movie as a kid. So
that's rough.
I think I'm marrying Hot Shots Part Deuce.
You did it too.
Yeah.
Hot Shots Part Deuce.
Part Deuce. I think I'm gonna marry that. I'm fucking Don't Be a Menace. And I think I gotta kill Not Another Teen Movie, even though I fucking love that movie.
Shit. I gotta marry Not Another Teen. Fuck Hot Shots Part 2, and then kill Don't Be a Menace. Even though I don't want to. That's where I'm going.
But you're doing it anyway.
I'm doing it anyways. I know. I'm a bad person. Kendo, what do you got?
I'm killing Not Another Teen Movie. I'm fucking Hot Shots Part 2, and I'm marrying Don't Be a Menace.
Well, the best part is we at least have buttons for 2 of those movies. So, Enrique, thanks to you, my friend, I think we're just going to have to go ahead and press buttons based on those movies. So we have a Don't Be a Menace button right here. Kendo, what's your favorite part of the movie?
Message!
See, that's how you do messages in movies. You give the message, and then you explicitly have somebody tell you, this is the message we're sending.
What message does this send, Kendo?
Cry me a river, dickface.
That you shouldn't keep fucking talking back to the admin.
Horns, man. If you mess with the bull.
Oh god, I should watch Breakfast Club last night. Jesus,
I fucking love that movie so much.
You had enough yet?
No.
That's another one.
So?
You just say the word, I'll keep going.
Go.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
Mo.
Your mother was a...
Ho.
He was a famous clown.
Bobo.
Mitch, cut it out.
I love that fucking movie.
Oh shit!
so good.
I love
So
that
good.
movie so much. Cry me a river, dick face.
Mitch, cut it out. Aurora Uplinks, thank you very much again. In fact, you two could be in part filming. You two could be filming in part filming, according to an ancient rumor of an old crime or stolen goods in an area, which caused the criminals to bolt, etc. Now Brendan Fraser's got to be in this movie with us.
Hey, I'm on board. Let's go. That's an Oscar winner, Brendan Fraser.
That's true. Oscar win. It took him a while to get that, but he got it. Thank God.
He deservedly. I'm blown away that on the night that he won an Oscar, Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom won an Oscar. That was awesome. And that film, it turns 40 today, according to the internet.
Goonies?
No, Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom. Yeah, it's 84,
All right,
not
so
85.
here's the basic question: where does it rank among the Indiana Jones films for you?
That's not a proper question. That's not a fair question because all of them are 10s. That's just how it works. All the three of them are 10s. That's how it works. I'm sorry. They're interchangeable in their rankings per how you feel about them at a certain time, but there's no higher than this, higher than that. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna second that because the Indiana Jones trilogy was a watertight, perfect trilogy across the board. It didn't have a weak movie. That's the one thing people need to take into account. We live in this world where we try to use the internet to reinterpret something that already had a consensus, a place in history. We try to rewrite said history. And Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is an example of that. Because of the modern lens of offensive cultural stereotypes and all this other bullshit on the internet, Temple of Doom is kind of a old movie in quotation. For example, the toy line from Indiana Jones last year, at one point they had previewed a Molaram figure. It was canceled because it was culturally insensitive. He played into stereotypes. All I can tell you is I was going to buy said action figure of Molaram because my collection knows no color, knows no race, knows nothing. If it's a cool character, I want to own Molaram. And I'm pissed that Molaram was not made because you made me Indiana Jones and you made me Short Round and you made me this random ass Indiana Jones with a fucking red rope around his chest. That was your Temple of Doom line and it was garbage. So Hasbro, that's why your toy line died in 90 days. And I'm happy. It was a waste of money. But Temple of Doom is awesome, Nick. I got nothing bad to say about it. Willie Scott's funny. I'd say it's the funniest Indiana Jones movie. Sean Connery's great, but some of the shit in Temple of Doom kills me every time.
Oh God, yeah.
Temple of Doom is my favorite, but it's great. It's absolutely great. It is, again, like you said, man. It's a perfect example of what happens when you get too caught up in looking at movies through the modern lens, it's just silly. But yeah, I agree. It's the funniest one. They all have great, hilarious moments. But I also think that, hey, Doom has, in terms of the sequence from getting into the shit with the damsel, getting in danger, then having to save the day, it's the most seamless for me. And plus Willie is just hilariously fucking annoying in that movie.
Oh yeah, and
we are going to die. Makes me laugh every fucking time.
Same here. That's my line. Dude, the one that always kills me is she goes, "You know how to fly a plane, don't you?" He goes, "No, do you?" Every time, just the way he looks at her, I crack up. I fucking love that.
That is a great.
Oh my God, dude! It's one of those things as well. Like growing up as a kid, and once again having growing up a small town, and having the video store down the road from me. Watching that with my parents was funny because they'd be like, "Oh, the guy who plays Molaram is a well-known Indian actor. He is extremely well known." he's been acting his entire life. I think he died like 10 or 20 years after the movie came out. Like, he was very, very well known. And for him to get that role in a Spielberg movie, like, they kept talking about it. It was all the time like, oh my God, this guy's in this movie. He's a famous actor, famous Indian actor. They put him in an American movie. This is a good thing, you know. Obviously, they're taking liberties with the, you know, with the Indian culture, but even the Hindi he was speaking when he was trying to take his heart out is correct. It's entirely correct.
Kalima, Chakti.
Which literally translates to give me the power. That's what it means. That's literally all it means. It's nothing bad or nefarious. Just the way he's saying it is. Adoshidai. Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's funny now. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, the movie's so offensive." It's like, go fuck yourself. Just
that movie's
go
awesome.
Right fuck yourself. And they're like, it's hilarious
because I would
because
show kids first, because Raiders of the Lost Ark is, I would say, that is the darkest of the Indiana Jones trilogy. It has the most blood. People go, Temple of Doom has a heart rip scene, but Indiana Jones like shoots a dude in the head at point blank, and there's blood. Every shot is bloody. That movie has the guy that walks into the rotor blade, the exploding head, the melting face, the face sucked in. It has the most bloody of the shot. Like, and this thing, it's a great movie.
It has flesh being burned. He grabs the fucking emblem and it fucking
dude gets nailed. Remember, for the joke, goes right through his head and the wine gets hit. But I'm just saying, Raiders is the dark Indiana Jones film. Anybody that goes differently, I'm like, are you serious? It's the most violent. It's the most fucked up. And it's got a fucked up ending. Great movie, 10 out of 10. Not a criticism. But I'm just saying, like, Temple of Doom is very lighthearted. I'd say Temple of Doom is the most lighthearted of all of the Indiana Jones movies because it's stupid and it knows what it is. Willie Scott running around screaming up in Mola Ram's face. That's offensive. That's hilarious. Or all the shit between Short Round, you know, I am very little, you cheat very big. What a great line. I mean, come on, that kid eventually won an Oscar for a different role, but still, they knew what they had back.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I love people on nowadays like, oh, it's so offensive like in Indian culture. I'm like, go fuck yourselves. Just really go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, big time.
Fuck right off.
Tilda Screwjob, thank you very much. She says, first AI Kendo looks a lot like Buzz from the PS2 quiz games. Kendo, we're taking you back to the past to be part of a game that doesn't suck ass.
All right, I'm in.
Tim Riggs, thank you very much. He says, heading out for the night, my guys. Have a real one. Tim, hopefully you caught a lot of your messages tonight. We appreciate everybody. You're very generous tonight. We appreciate you guys. Shrubbles Away says, Coach Kendo, what was the other name for the Battle of the Bulge? Also, message, please.
I mean, like, when they called it the Ardennes Offensive? Because that's the only name. There's the Ardennes Offensive and then the Battle of the Bulge. And then within that, there was little mini battles.
Well, we'll see if Shrubbles08 responds to that one in a moment. By the way, Shrubbles08, I just pressed message. Would you like a different button request? I'll press any of our buttons you like. Okay. You said a different one?
Yeah, give him something different.
Okay. How about in honor of Mad Max?
But how the world turns. One day cock of the walk, next to feather dust. Play something Tun-Tun, something tragic.
Such a dumb button.
The thing is, every time that button and the guy pulls out I always expect to hear Baker Street, and it never works out that
way. I was thinking about making some more of those since Mad Max is out. Just do all the saxophone songs that are. I've done The Heat Is On.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
I did like.
You need to do the saxophone songs from Lost Boys.
Oh, I was thinking of that one too. Actually, as I clicked the button, I'm like, I should have had that guy.
Yep.
We should do a crossover between him and the what is he? The sexy sax player? Yeah. You know, The Lost Boys is a solid movie that's still a lot of fun to watch. I changed what I was going to say because I'll tell you guys off air instead. Enrique Vasquez says, Kendo, what's your favorite gun, tank, and plane from World War II? Mine is the BAR Tiger and the Hellcat. Also, did you see the one that can count to 4 parody of Body's Drowning Pool? I can count to 4. No,
I did not see that yet. I took a screenshot of that last week, but I have been going through the week from hell in terms of work, but it should be all over tomorrow for a while. Favorite gun, tank, and plane. Favorite plane is the Focke-Wulf 190. And that is because when I was in middle school, my grandfather got a computer and a game called Aces Over Europe. And you could play as a fighter pilot for the British, the Americans, or the Germans. And playing for the Germans was more fun because you did a lot of bomber intercepts. And the Focke-Wulf 190 was the best for that because it had 4 machine guns, 8mm machine guns, and 2 20mm cannons on it. And you could shred the shit out of B-17s in that game with those.
Cool.
So that's why I take that plane, and I just like, that plane is great. I don't care if it was flown by a bunch of Yahtzees. And now I'm like, they probably deserve getting shot down. Not the Americans, the Yahtzees. And then the favorite tank, I'll go with the Sherman because it was the most reliable tank. And if it wasn't for that tank, we wouldn't have gotten what came after that, which is the Abrams, which was the greatest tank ever made. We've shredded so many people of a certain regional persuasion with the Abrams tank that we still need to kick the shit out of every now and then. And favorite gun, in games, I always like to use in the Springfield because it's a sniper rifle. But I'm picking the M1 Grand because it is the gun that won the war. And my favorite story about that gun was once we got that in the Pacific, the Japanese would count to 5 on a lot of the shooting because that's when they knew the rifles had to be reloaded. They got Garands out there. So the Japanese would just wait till they heard about 5 volleys of fire, and then they would do their bonsai charge. But there was still 3 rounds left in the Garand, and we cut down a lot of those motherfuckers with that thing. And then they started just waiting for the ping, but then by then we had them on the run. So, yeah, I'll take the Garand because it won the war and killed a lot of words I can't say anymore because apparently it's not PC to call them that.
And he gives me shit. He gives me shit.
Hey, it starts with the I'm bettering myself, Nick. I am not saying the JAP word.
Bettering yourself is bullshit. I'm sorry. It's bullshit. Just say what you want. It doesn't matter.
Thank you, Enrique. Oh, by the way, there's this World War II game I've been playing on Xbox. It's called like Hell something. You guys should check it out. It's on Game Pass, but I think it's multi-plat as well. And it's just like a World War II shooter. They drop you into the middle of a battlefield. And you just have to find out what you're going to do. It's kind of fun. So
okay,
we should try to play
check it out.
Aurora Uplink says, you guys played the video with that head on that long neck peeking around the corner, and that sparked an idea. But you are right. It was awful. My bad. I've been having fun with your ideas tonight, Aurora Uplinks. Don't apologize to us.
Yeah, Jeff keeps taking screenshots of your ideas.
Overkill 161. I'm borrowing that from now on. It is now Yap.
Oh, is it a soft J? It's like yogging?
Yeah, this is the Spanish way of doing it. Or like the German way where the J is a Y sound. So there we go. The Yaps. The Yappers.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. In a minute, we're going to talk about Mad Max. Tim Riggs says, Star Trek, the 5'4" white guy and the multifier D-block of prison that owes a crap ton of money to the wrong dealers and is paying off his debts by turning his exit tunnel into a fluid intake. Ew. That is Star Trek to Tim Riggs.
Oh, my God.
DeYoung had to get close to read that himself. He's like, what the fuck is he
I know, I'm like,
he just really liked it, but that's okay. We don't kink shame here.
Nope, unless that's your kink. Then shame on you. But thank you, Tim. Matthew Valente says, I agree with you. Furiosa Mad Max Saga is pretty bad. Go see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes instead. Oh, we haven't actually reviewed it or talked about it yet. We can't review it yet because we haven't seen it. But there's an article out there, and I guess we'll use this as a transition right now. There's an article out there talking about how you don't really need Mad Max anymore. It's now a Furiosa franchise. Mad Max's story is over. And that's what I'm talking about. It's essentially saying without saying that they don't need the guy in the franchise. They have her. And I, for one, don't really want to see this movie because I like Mel Gibson as Mad Max. I'm not going to let society shame me. I will watch Lethal Weapon all the damn time. I will watch Mad Max when I have time. I will watch a lot of Mel Gibson movies. I don't care. But what I do care about is that Mad Max isn't Mel Gibson. It's like Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones. I do care Max Rockatansky. So I'm going to pick just to watch the old ones. And like maybe if it's on streaming, I'll give Furiosa a shot because I'm not like going to go rail on it because I haven't seen it yet. But I'm also not like pumped. The trailer just doesn't do it for me. Chris Hemsworth is fine, but I like the other Furiosa, and that story was cool enough. But, you know, Dion, you're more interested in seeing it. What about the world or the trailer has you interested in Furiosa?
Well, the villain. So I think Chris Hemsworth as a villain in that specific universe is interesting. And so far, they've done a good job in the trailers of he looks like a fucking wackadoo. So I want to see a wackadoo versus the hero. That being said, also, hey, I liked Furiosa enough from Fury Road that I'm like, yeah, you know, doing a prequel, you know, this is, you know, hey, I'll check it out. I like the trailer. You know, Anna Taylor-Joy, I do like her, you know, but yeah, the character was interesting enough that I'll, you know, check it out on a holiday weekend. I mean, it did enough to get me to like, I'll spend money on this because I liked all the other Mad Max movies enough where it earned me giving my money. That being said, you know, it doesn't need Mad Max is so ridiculous. It's such a stupid thing. You know, I'm interested to see who wrote the article.
IGN.
I'm sure. What was it?
IGN.
That makes sense.
Of course. Like,
remember, you can't spell ignorant without IGN.
IGN does one thing good, they immediately remind you, oh yeah, that's why I don't go on IGN anymore. Because that's fucking stupid. But like, you know, if that were the case, which is what I said they should have done from the beginning, you would have just called it Furiosa. You wouldn't have said a Mad Max saga. Okay, so they did it because obviously they like to remind people it's Mad Max. That being said, it doesn't need it. Well, then why keep referencing it? If it's in the, you know, you getting mad that she didn't get made first and you work at IGN. I mean, okay, but that's not what kind of conversation are you trying to have? What is your point? Like, oh, it's just Furiosa said awesome.
What is your point? Is the real question.
She was in one movie. She's a cool character. She's not the heavyweight champion of the fucking Mad Max movies.
No.
Get over it. Get over it.
No, and the people who are going to rah the article and who retweeted it and quoted it and all the other bullshit on X, whatever it is, they're the ones who are not going to go watch this movie this weekend at all. Not even a little bit. Because they have to watch all the other Mad Max movies and shit like that to get into it or even understand it. So it's not going to happen. They can hashtag it into infinity. It doesn't mean that's going to turn butts into seats and give this movie the money it needs to like make another part. I mean, it took fucking Frank Miller over 10 years to make this one. Yeah, George Miller, Frank Miller.
It's like Frank Miller didn't make this, did he? Yeah. Shit, I'll see it now.
No, sorry. But yeah, it's and even then, you made Furiosa the prequel. Like, why not continue with like her older or do another Mad Max where he's like battling some other fucking people in the desert? Like, I don't get it. Like, Charlize Theron did a good job with that character. That was awesome. The way they did it was great. But I don't think that would. I personally didn't think that would garner a whole movie of her prequel and how she came to be. That we don't need that. But apparently, I'm wrong. And if I don't go see this movie the weekend up, I'm a bigot and I hate women. So
you already do, and you already were. Yeah. So just fucking announce it publicly and just get it over with. There's no shame involved. It's 2024, bro.
But now, I mean, that's how it's going to be. Tuesday. I mean, because they're going to take Monday. They're going to count Monday in the fucking box office because of holiday. But when the box office shit comes out Tuesday, it's going to be like, oh, it didn't do projection. Everybody hates women. It's like that's not what it means. Not at all. You made a shit movie. That's what happened.
Lord Nero in the chat has enjoyed the film, so
that's awesome, man. If you enjoyed it, that's great, cool. But
yeah,
I'm with you, Jeff. Like, it looks okay. I'll probably check it out eventually. I don't think I'll check it out this weekend. There's a couple other movies I want to check out that are independent that I want to go see. I'd rather support them. So yeah.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I would rather watch The King of the Ring this weekend than go see Fury Road. Or Furiosa, excuse me.
Jeez.
So I'm going to play
That's fair. That's
2K24 and
very
watch
fair.
King of the Ring. And then on Sunday, I'm going to go to Phil's and we're going to watch AEW's Double or Nothing. And I'm on TNA this week. I got to find the video because the guy in the chat's like, were you at TNA this week? Yes, I was. It was great.
Oh,
I saw Jordan Grace wrestle. I was screaming, hey, weren't you in the Royal Rumble? Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch
that guy, Dion. I was stone cold sober too. I had gone to dinner and I was full of like ribs and something else, and I was just like feeling good. And I sat there and I trolled and heckled, and everybody loved it. I had the production crew laughing their asses off.
When Jeff gets full of meat, he gets wily.
I do, right? I don't get tired. I don't get meat sweats. I just get weird. I'll do a live stream. I'll do that.
There you go.
Guys, I ate a pork roast, and now we're going to talk about I don't know, Zorro.
Oh my god. Yeah,
I have a Zorro book somewhere.
I know there's a shitty horror movie that came out called Tarot that came out last week. I might go check that out tomorrow.
Oh, I wanted to see that. If you see it, tell me. I'll go check it out, and we'll watch it together before my Regal Pass expires.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna go check it out tomorrow. Just so you know, I think I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. I will do it. And then I'm gonna go watch I See the TV Glow Saturday with some friends. So
that one looks weird. I want you to tell me how that one is too, because I want you to filter it for me. Is Jeff gonna like this movie? Because I'm interested in the trailer, but it looks like the movie If, where it looks like the trailer could be better than the movie. So you're just like, I'll wait until later.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, that's why I said independent, because that one's coming to the Plaza here in Atlanta, the Independent Theater. So I'm gonna go check that out and actually, give that my money more than Furiosa or anything like that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's about it.
Darian 2 and 7, thank you for your very generous super chat. He says, speaking of Star Trek, I'm actually excited for the new Star Trek release this year. To the Journey, looking back at the Star Trek Voyager. Looking forward to seeing 7 of 9 in high definition, even for a few seconds. Good old Jerry Ryan, man. She was the lady of the late 90s, like
oh yeah,
early 2000s. Where do you rank her on like the 90s?
Is there a documentary though? To the Journey?
Yeah, I didn't know there was a documentary coming out.
Okay.
Neither did I. I'll watch that in a heartbeat.
Hell yeah.
I love documentaries on science fiction. I have seen The Making of Alien more times than I've seen Alien, but that's just me.
There's one I've got. I think I have it here. I need to go look for it, but it's basically called The Time Machine, and it's like a scientist who's trying to make one, and then like a physicist who's trying to. I don't know. It's an interesting like 90-minute documentary about like time travel and time machines and in pop culture and things like that. It's quite good. It's quite good.
You ever watch the one Primer?
Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh. I think I might have triggered Nick. I might have said something, like talking about Glitter or Terminator Dark Fate. It just turns into
Rage Monster. He probably got the special edition or something.
He probably has the Sandy Calora film reel or whoever that made that movie.
No, I don't. I actually have the disc.
Oh, shit. Dived. Is that a Blockbuster disc?
I think it is. It says
Blockbuster inside the case.
It says DRA on the on the part there, but it might be. No, but no. It was funny because I was at what is it? The yard sale at the video store we have here at the Videodrome, and it was at the beginning of and like I was looking at the Blu-rays and DVDs and all, and everybody kept saying, "Oh man, somebody's got a copy of Primer. I gotta go check it out. I was like, "Where is it? I don't see it anywhere." And there was a table that had just popped up when I was about to leave, and it was this lady who had a bunch of old stuff. She had like old shows, like she had Mr. Robot and a couple other ones, and so I saw the Primer DVD there, and I was like, "I'm gonna grab it," because apparently nobody else did. They kept talking about it and be like, "I don't know if I want it or if I can get it. How much it's gonna be?" It was $20. It's $20. So I grabbed it before everybody else did and fucking walked off.
We, my buddy, our roommate in college, Dion, was there too, but he had that movie. He would pull it out on his little flash drive. We'd watch that all the time. I don't know why.
It's a wild movie. I actually listened to the commentary a while back to really kind of figure out what was going on in the movie, because I was like, oh, does it take place over a week or what? Apparently it's 3 days. It's fucking 3 days it takes place over. Like a weekend. And the commentary was really good. The whole movie is really, really well done. Yeah, really enjoyed it. But one of the few indie time travel movies I've seen that was like really awesome.
We should do one about a time traveling closet. I don't know what the story would be outside of a time traveling closet where that's the device. We just need a door, and that's our time machine. Maybe we'll have some smoke come out and like a light flash in the closet.
I've come up with a couple of devices and ideas about that subject for sure. A lot, because like Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies. So like I have so many that are like probably written down somewhere that I need to pull out and reread and dust off.
I think we should create some science fiction in the future.
I'm down for it. I got so many science fiction ideas. So many.
Well, I'll do the art. I'll do the art, and we'll make it happen. So Georgian, thank you very much for being a member for 15 months. He says, so we're gonna see if Coach Kendo is Mark Felton. Should give Kendo a horn intro song like him. Got one that isn't stupidly obscene or hard. Where did noted war journalist Ernie Pyle die and is buried?
Is Mark Felton the guy that was Deep Throat? Yeah, he was. Okay.
Thanks.
So Ernie Pyle was killed on Okinawa. He was originally buried there, and then they moved him to one of the national cemeteries of the Pacific. And since the only one I can think of is in Honolulu, Hawaii, I'll go with that one.
All right. Well, so Georgian, let us know if Coach Kendo got it right. If he'll get a horn intro.
Oh, yeah, I got it right. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, thank you.
Glory to God. Says after Evolution, Dragon Ball should never be live action. Agreed. You can't do those designs in live action. It would just look weird. Like you could do high level animation, but why are you going to reanimate the show? I guess to sell toys and shit. So Georgian says first AI Kendo equals TV show. Adam ruins everything. Kendo, do you agree? You look like Adam ruins everything.
Sure, but right now I don't feel like a winner because the kid's now vacuuming the floor with his new vacuum. Yeah, that's nice. I'm so happy you're here on a Thursday.
All right, so continue on. Matthew Valente says also the name Furiosa is not even Australian. The name is an Italian one. Isn't that the name of a car too? Isn't there a Furiosa?
Mm-hmm.
Like
might be. I don't know. But I mean, that's sure. That's par for course.
I do like Rockatansky. That's my favorite name in all of Mad Max. There's no other Rockatansky's, right?
Oh yeah,
I don't think so.
Stan Rockatansky. Yeah, I know, right? Tell him, Steve. Dave.
Patrick. Tell him. That's my boy.
Yeah, well, he's a big fan of Max Rakatansky, and he likes touching the microphone for some reason. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, okay. Go. We're live, buddy. Go. You got to go do something else. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, Aurora Uplinks, thank you very much. Want to watch my Acolyte trailer edit? Email you. Yeah, send it to worldclassbs@mail.com. We're still using that one for tonight because I got busy with Wokebusters stuff the last couple touch-ups. But yeah, we still have that email address. Aurora Uplink says, email 2 of your emails, the one, the old one, and Jeff's. Thank you very much. I'll have Kendo forward me that one in a little bit. Wonder, what's up? Says, the only reason I ever slightly curious about the new Furiosa movie is because of Chris Hemsworth, and his character looks very entertaining. Sounds a lot like what you said, Dion.
Yeah, man. And vehicular manslaughter.
Vehicular manslaughter.
Well, that's just a great line in the trailer. See, the question is, do you have what it takes to make it epic? That's why I was like, this is a crazy motherfucker. I want to watch it.
So, guys, we're slowing down. It's getting a little late here around WCBS. So we've pretty much covered everything we wanted to talk about outside of Ticketmaster getting sued. So I'll just go through this briefly. Let me turn it into a clip. The Justice Department on Thursday sued Live Nation Entertainment, the concert giant that owns Ticketmaster, asking the court to break up the company over claims that it illegally maintained a monopoly in the live entertainment industry. In the lawsuit, which is joined by 29 states and districts of the the District of Columbia, the government accuses Live Nation of dominating the industry by locking venues into exclusive ticketing contracts, pressuring artists to use the services, and threatening its rivals with financial retribution. Those tactics, the government argues, have resulted in a higher ticket price for consumers and have stifled innovation and competition throughout the industry. The suit asked the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York to order the divestiture of minimum Ticketmaster to prevent Live Nation from engaging in anti-competitive practices. And so here's what the Attorney General had to say. It's time for fans and artists to stop paying ticket prices for Live Nation's monopoly. It's time to break up Live Nation. The American people are ready for it. So outside of that big ending, I wanted to bring this to your attention, guys, because this is pop culture related. This is definitely a real world application to what we cover. I'm glad something's going to happen because these fees and extra things that you pay for on these damn tickets, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, man. It was only a matter of time. Ticketmaster, there is a real thing as being too greedy. And, Ticketmaster very clearly for years now, our generation pretty much has come to that conclusion because of, Ticketmaster just saying, can I put these tickets here? Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Let's make some money. And they, being too greedy, and it's come back to buy them, especially when all that shit went down when Beyonce and Taylor Swift, those concerts opened up and those ticket prices shot through the roof. So, yeah, man, it was only a matter of time, and they refused to do anything about it. And now, now when you have old people in Washington start talking about it, that's when you need to readjust your business model, and Ticketmaster refused to do that. So now we'll see where this goes. Hopefully they get broken up and it affects the industry, because it has absolutely gotten ridiculous.
No,
our WrestleMania tickets went through the roof last year. People be crazy.
Well, I mean, hopefully with them divided up, it creates competition or something to where they have to keep adjusting the prices so that they get more consumers, buying their stuff, because that's the way it should be. We shouldn't have this ridiculous thing, this monopoly of just tickets, because it's hard, like you said, it's hard to get. They get expensive. Tacking on these ridiculous fees because there's no other company who does it is insane. And then you have ticket scalpers who have bots, ready to go and buy the tickets and then resell them for double or triple the price. It's insane. It shouldn't happen that way. But that's where we are. And it's funny that it's taken like Beyonce fans and Taylor Swift fans to like complaining to the government that like this has become a problem now. And I love the statement that the main guy gave. It's like, oh, we're not a monopoly. We have these two companies with that are both doing the same thing, and we work with either of them. And like he was trying to like make it seem like it wasn't a monopoly, but it was like, no, you are. We all know it. Just just shut up and divide up the company, and let's get this over with.
I will be
going after that age of forcing, and again, ticket prices are a huge part of it, but forcing artists and venues into these contracts. That was never the thing. You were never, you can't take these huge chunks of what these artists and what the venues make, because eventually, when they realize how much money's on the table, they don't care necessarily the ticket prices are so super expensive. They're not getting their share of it, right? And you cannot continue that now in an age of the internet where word gets out, and people don't like having to get screwed out of all that money, because don't get me wrong, there's always going to be the facet of if it's a price that people are paying for, what can you do? But when you're forcing venues to only work with Ticketmaster, when you're forcing artists to, hey, if you want to have a successful tour, you got to work with Ticketmaster, and you can't take all that money. Things get weird when you get greedy, and this was only a matter of time. It was only a fucking matter of time. Now, don't get me wrong, it'll be a good thing for everyone, where it's not only a certain facet of the population can go to live events, but that shit was they Ticketmaster operated under the guise of, hey, do business with us, and hey, if people pay the ticket prices, that's not our fault. That was never going to last forever. Nope.
Hey, real quick, I always want to put positive praise on people. So I want to thank Kevin6 real quick, because this is important. We've been talking about this behind the scenes. For some strange reason, YouTube didn't notify me of the stream until 5 minutes ago. Folks, we have figured out that exactly 3 months ago, there was a change on YouTube that has affected us. So we're trying to figure out what the change in YouTube was. But if you ever have anomalies like this, please always let us know. It's never trolling. It's never too much. It can happen to you every week. If you told us that every week, we would appreciate that just the same, because we need to have enough evidence to go to the platform and be like, what is the problem? So Kevin6, I'd like to thank you for letting us know. Folks, if you ever have these weird anomalies, tell someone and tell us at the same time, and tell everybody else out there about it too, so we can get this problem fixed. We appreciate you guys, and we want to be able to do more for you guys all the time. Now, guys, I think we've had an awesome show. Been a lot of fun tonight. I want to thank everybody for the generosity. You guys have earned yourself some extra buttons. So, guys, do you think the audience wants to see another Steiner math? Do they want to see something else crazy or big? Like, what do you think the audience wants tonight? Because we had a lot of people make this show even bigger than episode 400. So, thank you, folks.
The Steiner math is always a good option.
Well, we'll give them a Steiner math. Folks in the chat, what else would you like to see? You tell us. We're going to play a quick game of explain a film plot badly, and then we'll see what you guys want to see in terms of buttons. So this one's pretty easy, guys, but I think it's a fun one to close out tonight. A spoiled southern bitch pines for the one who doesn't want her. A spoiled southern bitch pines for the one who doesn't want her.
Oh, Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, Gone with the Wind.
Nick, guess?
Forrest Gump.
It's Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
Now, Darian217, thank you. I wanted to bring this up in our wrestling segment. This reminds me to actually have a little one real quick. Darian217, thank you very much again for your generosity. He says, speaking of tickets, SummerSlam 2026 is now a 2-night event. I'm not a fan. Is this a Coach Kendo says bit of column A where WWE has gotten better under Triple H, and column B where AEW has failed to make decent competition due to its ineptitude?
Yes, that is exactly what it is. Like, things have gotten better for WWE because Triple H knows what he's doing, and he's not booking for an audience of one himself. And AEW is fucking clown shoes, so they couldn't book themselves out of a wet paper bag.
I think WWE is getting a little greedy. To jump back to the Ticketmaster thing, I do not mind paying a premium price for a premium event, but I've gone to 18 WrestleManias. While WrestleMania 40 did deliver a nice main event on night one and a good overall experience, the ticket prices are getting to the point where WrestleMania will never be out of the question in terms of can I afford to go? It's, do I really want to keep spending this kind of money for lesser? Because like I said, I've gone so many years, and it doesn't matter if I was making nothing in college or living high on the hog or whatever. I always made WrestleMania a priority. And WrestleMania was always something that, you know, you're paying about $300 every year for a ticket. You're going mid-level here, this, that, and the other. They've got to the point where we paid, let's say, what were our tickets, Dion, for California? Under $350 for where we sat for $39. We had great seats. They jacked up prices, folks, so high within 1 year, like double the price. Our tickets were $500 essentially for where we sat this year. 1 year difference. They're getting greedy. This extra night shit and all of this stuff. WWE is going to price themselves. And here's what they're doing too. They're taking deposits on tickets. They're taking deposits for live events that are that expensive. You can prepay. You can pay them down. Wrestling fans are not a rich audience. The fact that they are trying to milk this out of wrestling fans is going to really impact their overall market share, because they want to talk about how the WWE is having this best year ever. They're having their most profitable events. They're not having their biggest, most watched events. They're having their most profitable events because their prices are through the roof. WWE is quickly becoming unattractive to go to live. Now, I'm overall okay with the product. I'm not disappointed with wrestling, and I love their new video game, but I don't feel that they are worth $1,000. Like, WrestleMania floor seats are $10,000. No seat in a pro wrestling house is worth $10,000. $100,000. You're not watching a real sporting event. You're not watching something that's super like that rare. You're watching a wrestling event that's on television that has commentary and other added elements. It's really becoming unattractive. That's the end of my rant, but damn it, I hope that this 2-night SummerSlam fails, and I hope they have to like eat a little bit of that shit sandwich that Vince would talk about, because it's just too much, man.
Yeah, it's becoming it's like, damn, like, do we want to pay this much every year? You know what I mean? Like, is this going to become every couple of years thing? You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's been across entertainment, not just wrestling, but sporting events. Football tickets are fucking getting crazy. I would go to a couple games a year. Now it's like, is this worth the experience I could have at home with my family or with my friends getting drunk? And it's like, no, I can sit at home, have a few beers, smoke some with the family, and enjoy it just as much as going to the game. Because even for USFL tickets, which is just supposed to be, obviously self-promoted, but a step below the NFL, those tickets are NFL level prices, and none of them are filling up stadiums. It's wild. Like they're like, for me to take the family, it'd be well over $500 for a sub-low football product, and they haven't changed the prices. So it's weird, man. It's weird, and it's the same thing with. Yeah, it's just, and it's live entertainment. It's the bubble was always gonna pop, and this shit was always gonna happen. It was never a long-term thing for you trying to price out your audience for sub pro level stuff in some cases. So yeah, it was. This is very much deserved by Ticketmaster, very much deserved, and it's affecting the entire gamut of live entertainment.
And it's not even so much that. It's like when you go to Ticketmaster, it tells you the price of your seat is $35, whatever. But then when you go to check out, it's now like $80 because they've got their surcharge. They got a different charge. They got taxes, another charge. And it's like, that's the one thing I hate about like apps like SeatGeek and stuff like that. Like it'll say, you can get this seat for $50. And then you go to click on it. Well, there's also like a $40 like seat ticket fee or something.
Convenience fee or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. Like so the $100 tickets that I would be buying for me and the wife to go to a game is now a $200 ticket. And I mean, depending on where you go, like the last football tickets I bought was for Arizona because we went to the Chiefs Cardinals game week 1, not last season before that. And I spent, I think, $200 for front row of the top bowl, which wasn't bad, but like just ticket prices, yeah, like $10,000 for a WrestleMania, and even that we when I went with you guys, it was like $400 for the seat we had, which isn't terrible because we were pretty close. We were on the floor, right. But we were also packed into like folding chairs that were zip tied together, so it was uncomfortable as fuck. So true. I had more fun watching the end of WrestleMania in the place we rented with Nick than I did for the previous 6 hours of sitting in folding chairs that were zip tied together.
And that was one of the first super long fucking shows too.
Yeah, it was. So
now the Texas one
even
was
for me,
that was the worst one.
WrestleMania 32 was the super long one that they didn't advertise was going to be that long. That's when they went from a 4-hour WrestleMania to a 7-hour WrestleMania and didn't fucking tell anybody. They were like,
and we're just like
7 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, we're like, when is this gonna fucking end? It's midnight and the main event hasn't started yet. And it's like, oh
yeah, that was wild.
Yeah,
dude, WrestleMania 35 was like that too. They kept 35 late as shit. I was like, come on, Vince, this is too much. And that main event was underwhelming as goddamn all hell too.
God, and it was funny because Kendall's like, oh, it's gonna be Bork Laser and Wet Hair again fighting. So we're just like, you know what? Let's fucking leave because I remember this is like hearing about the other ones where like it's been them the last 6 or 7 times. Like, oh, let's fucking go. And it's good we did because like by the time I think we walked back to our Airbnb or wherever it was and we got pizza and we were set. We were good.
We left during the second to the last match right before it went on because I think it was the third. It was Brian and Ronda versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. You and I decided to go get merch because there was you could see everybody was there watching the show. We decided to get merch and something to eat And then we said, fuck it. Let's not. There's 2 other matches left, and one of them is Bork Laser and Rogaine Ramirez. We're not going to stick around for this shit.
Yeah.
We left, stood up there eating hot dogs or something, watched the Triple H, Stephanie, Daniel Bryan match, left from there as that match ended, bought shirts, walked back to the Airbnb, stopped and got pizza, and got upstairs right as the main event was getting ready to start for Bork Laser and Rogaine Ramirez.
Yep, we watched it on the TV while we were eating pizza waiting for these guys.
Yes. And that was still like another hour and a half before they got there because that main event went like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And we were just like, well, they should be here anytime. But the match kept going and going and going and going. And then finally, like an hour and a half later, they come walking through the door. It's like, want to hit Bourbon Street? Fuck, might as well. We got nothing else to do.
I've left WrestleMania more times than not disappointed. Like, I wasn't disappointed this year. It was very predictable. I didn't leave 39 unhappy or 38. But there was a couple year stretch where it's like, yay, Cena wins, lol. Yay, Cena wins, lol. Oh, wow, Roman Reigns wins, lol. Like, these Vince McMahon booking WrestleManias, we left miserable Dion many times. We were just like, fuck it, let's go get drunk.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was for a couple years there. It was like, hey, I get to go to another city with 2 of my closest friends and get drunk while I'm there. Like that was awesome. That saved some shitty WrestleManias for me. And it's like, hey, it is kind of, there is always going to be the thing of, hey, I was at a pretty shitty WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like that's but it ain't getting worth it. I'll tell you that. Like this year was probably the epitome. And I like the show a lot, but yeah, man, it's fucking tough. And even for other events, man, like everyone knows I'm a UFC guy. There was one in Cleveland. It was either SummerSlam or the Rumble, and for sure the reason, hey, you coming down for da-da-da? I was like, yeah, because it was way fucking cheaper to go see my friends in Cincinnati than drive essentially the same amount of time and pay out the ass for UFC tickets for me and my sister, me and my wife. It priced me out. I was like, I'd rather spend time with my fucking friends. And we just watched it at the fucking Airbnb, and I had a great fucking time. So it's like, yo, it priced me out of going to the fucking event. I looked it up for 2 seconds. Oh, no, that was too expensive. I'm going to go see my friends in Cincinnati. Fuck this.
Dude, I don't know what's going to happen with all this stuff. It's just like, we're not going to WrestleMania next year.
Oh, wow.
We're going to Japan.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
It's the same.
He's mentioned that a few times.
I keep fucking forgetting that. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to Japan. Fuck it.
Yeah. Just have a passport ready, okay?
I've had it since 2019. I'm good to go.
I've had mine since 2021. I've been ready to leave this country to go somewhere, I guess.
I've had mine since 2020. I win.
I don't have mine. I'm getting it this summer.
You have plenty of time, Dion.
Yeah.
We're really prepared for this trip.
Clearly.
It's going to be awesome.
So, Kendo, before we go, what happened on this day 25 years ago? One of your favorite wrestlers passed away. Is there anything you'd like to say about the memory of Owen Hart?
He was really underappreciated, and he was a good wrestler, one of the better wrestlers. I would say he's better than Bret Hart. That's saying a lot. And Vince Russo killed him.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's a way to look at it, bro. Now, we have a TLJ Screwjob birthday super chat from earlier with the Iron Sheik button. What's our Iron Sheik button again?
I don't think we have an Iron Sheik button, do we?
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Like, we don't have any Iron Sheik. I mean, I'm going to make one now, so I'm sorry that I don't have one. We have No Holds Barred. We have You're Fired, Vince, but that's got to go because of copyright reasons. And the Stone Cold Beer button, sadly. Other wrestling, we have Joe Rogan, WWE, Beetlejuice. And folks, I've been reading your chat, so I'm going to press the buttons you requested to close out our show. We have Bonesaw is ready. I don't think we have anything with the Iron Sheik. So if you can tell us, TLJ Screwjob, what you'd like instead, I'll happily press it. But here's a couple. We're just going to get the ball rolling before we go out like this.
Always a classic.
You know what, Kendo? Here's one more for you.
Yo, she bitch. Let's go.
Another classic that never goes out of style.
I'm still mad about Ash versus Evil Dead. I'm still mad about that.
I haven't gotten over it yet either. I'm still pissed. They could have done so much with that, but no, people didn't want to buy the DVDs or the Blu-rays or subscribe to Stars.
Yeah, that's
you know who else is pissed about it?
Who?
This man right here.
Oh my God! Unbelievable! Oh my God!
Oh,
Perk Angle. Turn on a perk.
Yeah, Papa B. All right, see, what else we got here before we read what the chat wanted, and we're looking for more.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
Oh, speaking of which, we're getting a part 2 of that.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Son, this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
Clearly, I wasn't here.
Do you recall ever doing the podcast before?
No. I mean, when Jeff said this is episode 401, he was like, "We've done 300 and we've done 400."
No, he just saw the 01 part. He's like, "Oh, we're doing our first show tonight. Cool."
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Mother of God.
Hey, it's my uncle.
Yeah.
This is nobody's uncle.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
That's a clever new addition.
That is hilarious.
Now, folks, tomorrow is the South Park Ozempic special. I will go ahead and give you guys a review of that tomorrow. But our last South Park special gave us this.
Put a chick in it. Make her gay.
That's my favorite line of this year or last year?
I'm gonna say last year.
That was last year. I don't know. Fuck it. They all went together.
It apparently triggered a whole studio, and then some.
Baby, put a chick in it. Make her gay.
With that fucking phrase, which I think is
That
hilarious.
old adage is, hey,
Yeah.
big dog hollers.
Yeah.
Fuck Indiana Jones. Put a chick in it and make her name it gay.
Sorry, Temple of Doom. You're fucked. I was using Iron Sheik words in a super chat. If you can pull it back up, TLJ Screwjob said, "Oh, okay. Here, you guys talk for a minute while I look this up."
Okay, I have no idea what that was going on.
So yeah, like
Hell of a transition. But
yeah,
not only is it interesting about Ticketmaster, but how excited are you for Double or Nothing, old Kendo?
I'm excited to hear the Jim Cornette podcast where he talks about it. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to watching the show because I'm not going to watch the show. I've already given him enough $50 to learn my lesson.
Do me a favor, Kendo. Check our email and look for one about somebody asking about a collaboration.
I've been trying to, but like for some reason, every time I go to our mail, it won't let me actually look at mails. Did I get fired and I didn't know it yet?
No, we would have told you.
Oh, that's one of the headlines of the show you didn't read.
Shit. Well, folks, I appreciated my run here on World Class Bullshitters, and it's been real, but shit happens, and I'll catch you on the flip.
Thank you, sir. We hardly knew ye. Okay, so here we go. TLJ Screwjob said, to quote the Iron Sheik, F the Disney, F the Bob Iger, F you in the face, politicization of entertainment. Dion, my throat's dry. You do a better Iron Sheik anyway. Say that for me.
Fuck the Disney. Fuck the Bob Iger. Fuck you and your politicization of entertainment is bullshit.
I did not hit her. I did not. That's what it sounded like. Oh,
yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Hi, Danny.
Hey, that's what the Shiki baby sounds like, baby. An angrier, more aggressive Tommy Wiseau.
Aurora Uplinks, thank you very much for everything tonight. You should create a bunch of shorts with old Mad Max clips to grow your channel now. Make them quickly. Get like 10 to 20 out. 2 a day, Furiosa.
Oh my God, I don't know.
I mean, I'm thinking
get out of here. Talk to me.
I should just put our Mad Max clip out a bunch this weekend.
Yeah, just do that. The saxophone. No, you should do the saxophone, but keep changing the song. There you go.
I'll have some time for that. I'm excited. I'm not excited to edit tomorrow, but that footage you sent me was great. All the documentaries and shit.
Yeah. No, I just found a bunch of the really long videos on YouTube, and I just put them through a thing to download them, and send them over. So
I had all the footage from the original movie because the opening, like 1 minute, no, the opening 2 minutes is about how we get to the prequels. Because, folks, I wanted to treat it a little differently, but I also wanted to give you one of those, like, because I love those videos and I wanted to make one for fun. You know, sometimes I get to do that. So that's what this is. Let me know what you think of it. Thank you, or uplinks. By the way, folks, any stuff you think CBS should be doing, let us know. Clay Kia, thank you very much. The Running Man remake could be great with the right staff because it already sounds disappointing. What director actors would you choose? All right, so I want to first off make sure that we replace Richard Dawson with Steve Harvey in the remake, only because he is the current Family Feud host. Other than that, you know,
I thought you were going to say the monumental episode in which he featured here. That is,
I don't remember. That is a memory that I don't have anymore. I pushed it out. So, guys, let's talk about this Running Man remake, though. What would you guys? Who would you have in the remake? Like Glenn Powell? He's too short.
Usain Bolt, because he is a running man.
Usain Bolt.
All right.
I mean, I'd probably do Jason Momoa.
Oh my God.
Get Jason Momoa as the Running Man, the final Running Man.
That'd be a good one.
Keep those. I can see him doing the one-liners beautifully.
No, he could. No, he could. He could. Yeah.
Get to put Nathan Jones as one of the. He can be Sub-Zero, futurely known as Plane Zero. For yes, we're gonna get rid of. We gotta. Ooh, Steve Harvey though is such a good choice as the. Yes, I think that would be funny. That'd be funny. If not, get Ian McShane. That dude would be a beautiful fucking host of the Running Man.
I don't know. Steve Harvey, dude. Steve Harvey would fucking. I think Steve Harvey would fucking kill it if he was the host of Running Man. Oh my, just him, because like him being the asshole during those little moments to his staff, I think would read really well. And obviously, him being like Steve Harvey on stage would like him trying to do the dichotomy between being the nice guy on stage and being the asshole behind it. I think would work really fucking well. That's a good choice. That's a really good choice.
He gets so many letters from old ladies like, "You were so mean in that movie," and they would like come up to him in public and be like, "Sorry, it was just a movie." Like, I already know how the family.
Is he the new Wayne Brady? Like Steve Harvey makes white people
feel
better because.
Yeah. My grandma loves it. I don't know why, but she watched Family Feud like it was going out of style.
Oh, jeez.
I think Steve Harvey's closer to the new Pat Sajak. Even though Pat Sajak
he's about to retire in like a couple weeks.
Exactly. He's about to be done. That's true. Steve Harvey and Ryan Seacrest, they're one and the same. I've never seen them in the same room at the same time.
You know, when we do, I'm going to say, hey, look, they're there on the same room at the same time. And I'm just going to point this out to you that one day you'll see that, Dion.
They're played by the same guy.
Yeah, it's the guy who was in the rhino suit and Death to Smoochie.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe Alfonso Rivera should be the fucking host of the show because that would be interesting. That would be interesting casting, but I feel like he could pull it off.
Hey, he could be. He's the new Wayne Brady.
No, I agree with that statement. He's got this renewed career because, like, to us, if you know, he never went out of the spotlight. He was Carlton. He was on the other show. Then he was the game show host for a while. He hosted a bunch of stuff for years. Yeah. Then he's Dancing with the Stars, right?
Yeah. But I feel like
he's also got America's Funniest Home Videos too. I think.
Yep.
I think.
No,
you're right. No, he did. But yeah, I feel like he could do that same thing where he's like nice on stage because he's got the voice and the presentation for it. But him being an asshole behind the scenes would be really hilarious and like I think would read really well. Yeah, that would work.
Now we're just going to turn that into a skit. The Running Man featuring Steve Harvey. Dion, can you grow out a better mustache like Steve Harvey, like that big kind? Not trim it up.
I'll figure it out. I'm gonna start taking some tea and get my my testosterone levels up to get some facial hair.
Tea? You slap your face.
Yeah, you say, "Hey, I just rub it on my hands."
Oh, okay. I was like, don't inject testosterone directly
delivery
into your biceps. Aurora Uplinks, thank you very much for everything tonight. Aurora says, create a short for the Indiana aliens with Mad Max 2. The Indiana, is that the one that they uncovered and it was just like fake as shit, right? That meme from like 2 years ago?
Oh, the one that looked like a piece of concrete.
Yeah, the Mexican aliens.
The Mexican aliens, which is really funny because I mean you're just saying aliens twice.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that's extremely redundant and on the nose.
All right, Duran, got it.
It's kind of like corn maze. It's the same thing twice.
It's pronounced maíz, motherfucker.
Oh, I'm sorry. I offended you, Kendo.
I'm offended on behalf of other people. That's how you do it these days as a white person.
Now, let's press a few more buttons and let's close out tonight's show, shall we? So, what are people in the chat wanting? I saw... Crap, where'd it go? I just had it a second ago. Somebody wants some Scott Steiner love. I think we like some Scott Steiner. Let's start off with this one since it's easy.
Okay, listen, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I got freaks 9 days out of the week. I can give them... I'll get 7 days in a week. Man, you ain't Big Pop. I'm the big bad booty daddy. It's nonstop. Now listen, English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
I do like that one. Here's another Scott Steiner button.
Threats are part of wrestling, you know. But you gotta look at the person that's making the threats. This fat son of a bitch is challenging all of us, has been world champions before, been in this business 15, 20 years, and this fat son of a bitch is gonna challenge us all out. Calm down, okay? All right? He's fat!
Rick and Scott Steiner, let me welcome you back.
Oh, Team 3D, you guys are out of your mind. Coming to Atlanta, Georgia, the place that the Steiner brothers got their start in professional wrestling. You guys are out of your mind, making it a table match, because tonight we're going to beat you at your own game. And after it's all said and done, you're going to be taking splinters out of your fat asses all night long because you got some fat asses. The only chance you have no chance, but you had a chance, is that you can run lickety-split. Because you can't run because you got some fat asses. And after it's done, we're going to have a tailgate party for all my freaks out there in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, you tell him, Scott.
Such a good promo.
TLJ Screwjob, thank you very much. Congrats, Dion and half of Jeff. You can be represented in a game set in the 16th century Japan. All the Japanese people they could pick in the new Assassin's Creed, but no. Wait.
That would explain the fucking meme I saw.
Explain it to me, because I haven't purchased an Assassin's Creed game in a decade. What happened?
Assassin's Creed Samurai coming out.
Yeah, and
Tom Cruise?
Nope, it's gonna be a black dude. It's gonna be
it's
gonna be Michael B. Jordan.
Better than Michael A. Jordan. I mean, this is going to get people talking on Twitter, and it'll sell the amount of Assassin's Creed games that it normally does because of the brand, but this is the kind of thing gamers aren't going to support, and the people that would like it aren't gamers, so I'm sure we'll see this on Steam sales someday. I don't know.
So I hope the game better be good, because they tried that shit with Wolfenstein, and gamers aren't the same. They'll wait to buy it, so they'll wait to buy shit until after the numbers matter. You know what I'm saying? So don't. But hey, it better be fucking good. That's all.
So here's the headline from IGN.
Okay.
It says, "Let's not pretend we're mad the new Assassin's Creed Shadows Samurai isn't Asian." And the subheadline, "It does nothing for Asian representation to have another samurai hero." Because Asians are now the new white people, apparently. And it says, Ubisoft announced this long-awaited Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan. Subtitle Shadows. It follows dual protagonists, a ninja named Naoi, and a samurai based on the historical, and it's linked, Black Samurai Yasuki.
Well, shit.
Because
the comment we got from TLJ Screwjob is fucking hilarious, by the way.
Who better to speak through Japan than a 6'5" black guy? Well,
I feel like a black dude in feudal Japan would stick out fairly obviously, like a white guy, like Tom Cruise in feudal Japan.
A little different when you're that much taller. Like, I know the people of Japan are going to look at me differently.
Samurais weren't known for their dunking skills.
No, they weren't.
They were known for other things, like their breakdancing skills. No, if we're going to allow this reimagining of history, then there's no more cultural appropriation. That shit has to die. And you crazy Karens over on the Mary Sue, shut the fuck up. There's no more cultural appropriation. If that's all the thing, then we can go back to having Samurai Jack be voiced by Phil Lamar, and you can have white people voice black people and all this other crap. It's fucking stupid that we even had to get here in the first place, because 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if you would have made a game with a black samurai, nobody would have said shit. But everything's reactionary. So people responded this way, that way, and we got the culture where we are right now. So Ubisoft, go fuck yourselves. I'm not going to buy your game because Assassin's Creeds have sucked for a long time. I don't want to buy your yearly franchise. I don't care that it's on Game Pass. I'll never touch it. But the other side of that coin can't bitch anymore either. Like, fucking somebody go out there and make, like, I don't know, the most unholy crossover between, like, French something and, I don't know, how do we make a crossover like that? Let's put Americans in like French culture. That'll piss them off. Let's make those movies. Like, seriously, let's just do like Marie Antoinette, but it's played by Rosie Perez or something like that.
Why don't we just remake Shaka Zulu and I'll be Shaka Zulu?
Okay. The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Wait, hold on. I have one even better. All right. An autobiography about Barack Obama, but it's played by Kendo.
I mean, that's half correct.
I mean, just be fucking smart about it. Like, it's just like, you know, Assassin's Creed games are okay. Like, okay. And like, it's just like everything's got to be so like, yeah, it's a black dude in a fucking game series about ninjas. And earlier it was about traveling through fucking time. Like, if it's good, sure. Is it kind of dumb that it's a black dude? It's kind of fucking dumb. Like, it's just the way like, you said that. Like, it's just like, okay, like, you know, now, you know, going, you know, the fucking man, you know, they all want to get mad about everything. Like, this is two separate things. A video game. Now we're talking about fucking casting, you know, Sandra Bullock is fucking Underground Railroad, Harriet Tubman. Yeah, that's another dumb thing, you know, but like, fuck, that ain't this and this ain't fucking that. Like, you know, if the fucking black dude in the ninja game is cool, but like, okay, there's a black dude. That's kind of dumb. Cool. Who the fuck cares? It's fucking Assassin's Creed. If they want to gamble on it and make it a thing, you know, so eventually when it's on sale on Game Pass, I'll buy it. But you know, I ain't gonna buy it because like it's supposed to be cool.
I have an idea.
I already have the other fucking ninja game that came out 2 years ago. It was a Japanese dude, and it was cool.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So how about this? We're gonna go to Japan in next year. Why don't we man on the street this shit and ask the Japanese how they feel about it? Be like, you don't count for representation anymore. We got this guy.
They don't fucking think about it. They just be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
like, yeah. Assassin's Creed, like, hey, some of them be like, I didn't care. Some of them be like, yeah, that was kind of silly as a black dude, but you know, I like black people. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't.
You're not going to hear a lot of that in Japan, Dion. Be prepared.
Yeah, you're definitely going to say that when they're looking right at you, but as soon as you walk away,
they'll just walk away and just not look at you, and then they'll be confused by
their pockets really tight and run.
People in other countries laugh that people get mad about this in the States so goddamn much. It's just so funny.
No, that's 100% true. 100% true. They do.
They laugh about it. Like one of the motherfuckers talking about it are when the motherfuckers from IGN send it to the assholes over at Esquire, who send it to people at Vox, who send it over to the Mary Sue. Like, it's like, okay, like, I get it. You guys want clicks, cool, but like, they don't give a shit about that. The Americans are the only ones who fucking get upset about this shit this often.
Kendo, make sure you write that down, because I definitely want a man on the street that question in Japan, no matter how late it is, a year after the game, folks. What did you think about this? What we should do is we should do a thing where we have a bunch of like video game tropes in the West, and we take them to Japan, and like we just get some reactions of people, and they just like point at it and laugh, type of thing.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny.
Yeah,
I so badly want to get one of those handheld Steam Deck things so I can just play games off of that that are actually good, because I'm tired of this console bullshit, man.
Why wouldn't you look into the Republica Gaming one? Because it operates on Windows and the Steam one doesn't, and you have to go through to Windows backwards, and it's like you can still access Steam on the Republica Gaming one.
Jesus Christ, yeah, that
and
sounds
it has
way
great.
better.
Yeah, like don't blindly buy the Steam Deck. Look into this one. I think that's going to be the future of like console.
I 100% agree. I think because like that's portable. It runs Windows and like technology small enough now to where we can do that shit, and it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, it's definitely going to give Game Boy a run if they're still making Game Boys.
Game Boy stopped being made when they came out the DS.
Okay, so then it'll give Nintendo a run for sure. But I mean, I definitely want to get one of those because there's some games that are only on PS5 and on Steam that I really don't want to get a PS5 for right now. So
yeah, I'm very against the PlayStation 5. I'm not really that happy with Microsoft either, but I already bought my Xbox and it's still powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I never got a really powerful game on it. Like wrestling, the difference in wrestling is it loads instantly and the graphics are slightly more lifelike. Like the lighting's better, but it's not. Yeah. It plays better on the Xbox. The PlayStation 4 version, shit. We go over to Phil's to play it, and I'm like, why is the frame rate broken? Why are we blurry? How come I can't see anything? And I'm just like, it's PlayStation 4. It's old.
Yeah. I mean, I still have my PS4 that I play some old games on.
Same.
That I like, but
still have my PS3.
Yeah, I just honestly don't care to buy don't care to buy a PS5 and spend that kind of money when I can get the like you said, the handheld, and just have a plethora of games to play, even new ones that are on there. That's because I wanted to try Helldivers, but I can't because it's only on PS5. And there's another one that I wanted to try it as well, but it's only on PS5 as well. It's like I don't fucking care for this. I don't want to buy a new console for this.
I don't know what PlayStation's going to do to ever get me to come back. Like their brand of games, hey, if they're popular, cool. Don't cater to me because I don't want that. And if they make you money, cool. But I don't want that single player walking. I'm on a stand and watch cutscenes for 45 minutes. Last of Us, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. Like those don't appeal to me at all.
I would say like their PSV2 is awesome. It's just a one cable that plugs into the thing with the handheld joysticks. That's all it is now. Instead of a whole like bundle of wires like it was with the first one. Like this, I tested the new one at CES in January, and it's just one wire you plug in. That's it, and you're done. And I think now, if you were into that, that'd be it. But I don't think there's enough games on there, and the price point is too high for you to like, get the thing. So I don't think it'd be a good way to go.
When the one that you can run in and move and all that shit is like priced to own in your home, and you can get, and I have the space for two of them, I will invest in that because like me and family, wife, whatever in the future, it's like, hey, we're going to need to play this together.
Don't get married. Don't get married.
All right, not even for tax reasons.
Just don't. Just don't. I mean, the maintenance people didn't come fix things today that they were supposed to, that they said they weren't. Somehow that's my fucking fault. So don't get married.
Shit just got real on WCBS episode 401.
Yeah.
Let's check back in with our very wonderful audience. Aurora Upleaks, thank you again. This exact conversation and the reactionary and how this would have not been an issue was exactly what was talked about on WDW Pro's channel today. They get it. It comes with the perspective of living long enough to like remember what the 90s were like in the early 2000s and the ideas and the shit that came out. People were like, cool, that's different. We were way more advanced. Like, I never thought I'd live to see shit go this backwards, but we were. Maybe our technology wasn't advanced, but like the people were just a slight smidge smarter. And then we all got worse. Thank you. Thank you. That is my TED Talk. TLJ Screwjob, thank you. Remember the Woman King? They were the slave traders, but the movie made them oppressed by the white or by Whitey or something like that. Point is, they rewrote history. Yeah, and nobody went to see it at the box office. That was a huge flop of a movie, remember?
Oh, well, yeah, the controversy came out like the week before where it was like apparently the two female writers were white and the story was like, bent a certain way and it didn't.
Did Rachel Dolezal write that movie?
I have no idea.
I mean, she might have.
I think it was Phoebe Waller-Bridge who was writing that movie.
Rachel Dolezal wrote it in between sessions on her OnlyFans.
You ever look it up, Kendo?
I did not, but that's because I have no desire to see her without clothes on.
Yeah, there's like some people where you're, like women, you're just like, oh, okay, maybe you want to look, but then you're just like, not her.
That'd be the OnlyFans account you'd pay to have her put clothes back on. It's like, just keep putting more on. Just stay more covered up.
Send her tips, and she's like, "What do you want? I want you to get dressed and stop acting like a fucking idiot."
I'm your only fan. Follow, do what I say. Thank you, TLJ Screwjob, for reminding us of The Woman King, the film we did not watch. I don't think we'll ever watch, unless we're together for like a really sad reason. Then we'll watch Woman King to make ourselves feel better.
Yeah, and we're not doing it at Lakeside Lockdown. That's supposed to be a celebration.
Or just, I might watch a movie one day. Like, the whole conversation about that was fucking hilariously stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
it's past midnight. We're like Gremlins.
That was a selling point. I tried to sell the fucking movie, and then people didn't go see it fucking anyway. And it's like, okay, well, it's Viola Davis running around killing people. That's kind of cool. Whatever. Like, I might watch it. I might not. The whole thing was fucking stupid.
Well, they can't all be
people
winners.
got mad either way about that. Was that it was entirely fucking stupid.
I just remember that stupid Cleopatra thing on Netflix that everybody laughed at. That was a fun topic.
Yeah, like it's just, at that point it's Netflix and certain studios doing it as a selling point, and it's like,
and they've become a meme as a result.
Getting mad about is what they want. Like, that's the only they're doing it for free marketing. That's the only thing, and it doesn't work anyway. Like,
yeah, and if you really want to hit the more hard to start talking about it, just unsubscribe. There you go. Take away
what
their
fucking
money.
True story movie is actually a true story.
But we have to have Netflix so we can go to Lakeside Lockdown and watch Mike Tyson kill Jake Paul.
Well,
we
can do a free trial and then fucking 86 it. It's fine.
I keep Netflix for my mom. Don't worry, we'll just have it,
dude. I haven't had it in like a year, and nothing's changed.
I don't watch it, but I let her have all my streaming services. Well, I watch stuff for the channel, but that's about it.
Yeah.
All right. Aurora Uplinks, thank you very much again for these next couple. Aurora Uplink says, it doesn't matter the era or location. Somehow, a black man appears to murder everyone. Got it. Thanks, Hollywood. Thanks, game industry. Which led to super chat about how game companies are making black men enter random countries and murder the inhabitants in games now. Isn't that racist? Life rule. It's always a man's fault. Not because he did it, but because women need it fixed. And the quickest solution is to motivate a man near them. Oh, okay.
But I thought they picked a bear.
I mean, loosen it up just a little bit.
That ironic point of whole, the inserting black men into history to be murderers. That's the narrative we should run with when the game industry gives us garbage. Why do these people have to be? Why do minorities have to be killers? And they'll go, what? See, because no one complained when you would go to Egypt and your character looked Egyptian, or you went to Norway and your character looked Norwegian, or you went to America and you played as a Native American. Nobody complained about those games because it made sense. We get it that it's a video game, but there's a certain line that you cannot cross. Once the shark has been jumped, you can't undo it. And so this is one of those lines where it's just you're desperate to try to get a game sale. Don't lie and come up with some cultural reason to look cool or trendy, because that's not going to work. Somebody's going to put a skin out there for this game and modded the guy from Ghost of Tsushima, and then you can play as him in Assassin's Creed, but then it'll get taken down because it's racist and all this other bullshit. Society, we are here with technology. We are here with reason. Just get that shit fixed. I'm just tired. It's late.
Listen,
guys,
video game companies
hang on.
About them are both fighting invisible enemies, and it's hilarious. This whole conversation is hilariously the same as two bots arguing about some shit in the YouTube comment. It's
I have our next story.
Pick up this thing, and then people get mad about it, and it's they're just doing it to sell the game. And if it's dumb, it's gonna fucking fail anyway. If not, who the fuck cares? It's all silly.
So here, I want to end the night on this, a pitch, if you will, to our next comic, movie, whatever we want. We call it a whatever word you want to insert here in King Arthur's court. And we can make it be Dion, and he's the best knight they've ever seen. And he slays everything, animal, vegetable,
even the
mineral,
women.
Even the women. And so that way you can have that. We can make that narrative happen. We can control that narrative. And on every credit, written, directed, produced, it's you two. And I'm just like the best boy or something simple. So that way when they aim to fire this direction, be like, I didn't have shit to do with it. You need to talk to those two guys. Oh, they're POCs. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Trap them at their own game. See how well that works. It'd be great. I support a Nubian in King Arthur's court.
Nubian King Arthur's court.
So do I. Oh, man. That is... Sign me up for that one.
Oh, my God.
I still think we need to make Terminegro. Maybe that's the sequel. Terminegro 2, a Nubian in King Arthur's court. And then the third one.
Yeah, he travels back in time.
The Terminegro is just a terminating Negro that goes through history just being the greatest killer that they've ever seen.
If there's a way to gauge interest, like something quantifiable that will like actually benefit us, where I'll do like a test of a Terminegro, I'll do a test of something else and a test of that. And if whatever, I don't know, hypothetically sells the best, I would make Terminegro. That could be like a signature series that we have, because Terminegro is a great idea and it's ours. Like, we've been talking about it for years. At no point can somebody go, oh, they ripped it off. No, like Stealing Solo, like Wokebusters, the shit just kind of kept coming up from the show. So The Legend of Buffalo Jeff maybe is a children's book in the future, but definitely Terminegro is a media franchise coming soon. Because it's just going to be a black dude in leather. It's just going to be black Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's it. Like, that's the Terminegro. That's the joke. But imagine him in King Arthur's, a Nubian in King Arthur's court. That's going to be amazing. And then where else do we send him? Anywhere, through space or time. We put him on another planet. He
helps win the revolution. He helps win World War II for the Allies.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ironically rewrite history with the Terminegro. He's a part of every historical event, including the sinking of the Titanic. He had to have it happen. Catch a bad guy. Collateral damage is acceptable.
He was mad at all those really rich white people, so he fucking personally steered the iceberg into the boat's path. And let's see them howl. What General Sherman did to Georgia and Atlanta, we're going to do that to entertainment with the Terminegro.
Yeah, with the Terminegro. Oh, wow. Thank you, guys.
He stares the iceberg into the ship. The fact that you said that. Oh, my God.
Write that down, seriously, because I won't remember that one, but we got to do Terminegro.
Oh, my God. That's genius. Oh, jeez.
God, could you imagine like when we do the movie, like the cartoon's just called Terminegro Through Time, and every episode is a new time period. Every episode is a new location. He shows up at Pearl Harbor. He shows up on VJ Day. He shows up on, at JFK's assassination. Terminegro is always there.
Oh, speaking of which, Bill Burr plays JFK in like Jerry Seinfeld's movie about Pop-Tarts or something. Like, and he's fucking hilarious at it.
Send me a link to a way to watch it or how to find out about it.
Yeah, I will. But no, I was watching. Oh, he was doing some talk about it or whatever on YouTube, and I was just like, and he had the hair and the makeup, and he did the voice, and I was like, he's doing a parody version of JFK, and it's fucking hilarious. Oh my God.
Thank you, Xavier to God. Fuck, Marry, Kill, Black Adam, G.I. Joe 2, and Doom. All right, rock movies. I can't believe I'm marrying G.I. Joe 2.
I'm killing Black Adam for sure.
I'm killing Black Adam.
And I'm fucking Doom.
G.I. Joe 2 is not a good movie, but it is somehow not that bad when you compare it to everything else. What? It's the best G.I. Joe movie. Is that a low bar? Yes, but I still stand by that statement.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in the first one.
Then I cannot use my Joseph Gordon-Levitt metric anymore. He was in the first G.I. Joe. Fuck Beverly Hills Cop 4. You've changed my mind, Nick. At the end of the show, I'm a different man. All right, folks. I try to stay consistent.
I did it. It only took.
I have been broken.
Almost took 4 hours.
Almost. Thank you, Xavier to God. Aurora Upwood says, "Well, I wanted O.J. Simpson as a black Terminator." Well,
allegedly.
MPaw says, "Anyone else looking back at Ghostbusters Afterlife share my feelings that Jason did Harold's character dirty by making him a deadbeat dad? And don't get me started on the Frozen Empire." Kitty growls. Dude, MPaw's Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was such a forgettable movie to me. I don't even have the energy to really criticize it. I said everything I had to say those months ago. It is a very underwhelming follow-up to a film that I feel was necessary to save a franchise from a public perception. Ghostbusters 2016 had to be made fun of. It had to be put in its place. It really, like, the internet kind of fucked that whole situation up. I don't like the deadbeat dad trope. Every movie does it, and I don't think it's good. Indy, Bond, Han Solo, Egon, everybody. It's the only way these writers know how to create tension and drama. But they used to be able to write great characters, like in My Girl, another Dan Aykroyd film. That's interesting, the dynamic between him and, what's her name, Alana Chomsky. They just do the same shit across every branded IP and franchise. It's rinse and repeat. It's deadbeat dad. It's angry daughter who's justified at the deadbeat dad who's going to eventually die to pay a penance for being gone. It's the same, and that's what pisses me off, is the repetitive nature of these things. Stop using whatever garbage program or AI system that you're going to use in the future to write me a script. It's the same crap, and people have an attachment to these characters. Don't do that. Make a new story about a deadbeat dad. Then people are okay. But Superman is not a deadbeat dad. That was the most garbage thing about that movie. That and the Kryptonite Island and Lex Luthor. That movie's just shit. And Ghostbusters is probably the least heinous of the offenders, but I get where you're coming from. And I didn't really like the Egon's daughter and Paul Rudd in part 2. I didn't care. Ghostbusters is just a one-movie franchise for me at this point. I love it, 10 out of 10. I dedicated 3 years of my life to do a parody comic of it to make sure it was done the right way. I can't really honor it any more than giving it that much of my life. But that's it. That's just that first one and a little bit of the cartoon. Number 2, not so much. Aurora Uplink says, you guys need to watch the Mad TV Terminator sketch. Oh, I know that one. When you said that in the chat a moment ago, I was like, I know that skit. I remember that from a kid. Because it's Pat Kilbane that plays Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was a good one. I'll go back and watch it again. Xavier DeGott also says, did you know Dale Gribble is the base of the T-1000? Or is based off, I knew Dale Gribble was based off Robert Patrick. I did know that. And Dale's my favorite character on King of the Hill. So, folks, when the revival shows up in the future,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Johnny Hardwick. You were the best.
Fellow Red Raider. Guns up.
Aurora Uplix, thank you again for everything tonight. Kian makes a good point, but on a side note, I would like a good black actor to play just a regular smuggler in a brand new Star Wars film series. Yep.
Or here's a thought. How about no more Star Wars?
Yeah.
How about that?
Or you do your black smuggler thing with Lando Calrissian. You don't get Dong Lover, and you don't get some weird robot banging.
Yeah. Well,
Don Glover was all right. Just don't do the fucking weird spaceship thing. Like, just have him be a cool smuggler if he still wants to do it.
Yeah. Dong Lover got the suave part of Lando. I'll give him that. I don't think his Lando could put up a fight, and Lando could hold his own. Like on Bespin, he looked like he could hold his own with the gun. He could hold his own in the ships, the Battle of Thnab, Battle of Endor.
Yeah, he had that Colt 45 going for him.
I didn't get that from Donald Glover. I got the other part, but that not the whole character. So it's like, again, these actors play caricatures of a character, which it's stupid because you're just going for the greatest hits when you should be working backwards to try to create a version that works. I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to fix Disney Star Wars, but Aurora Uplink, black characters in movies are fine. Like growing up in the 90s when it was like, oh man, Will Smith is the biggest actor in the world. Sure, he's going to save the world from aliens this summer and next summer, and he's going to be in the Wild West. That wasn't too good, but he's going to fight robots and more aliens.
He's going to smack the shit out of Chris Rock.
Yeah, and then he's just going to go out of the public opinion. So, guys, I think we've had a hell of a show. It's been an awesome night. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us in the chat. Hail to all of you wonderful people. WCBS 401 was another win in the books for WCBS. Aurora Uplinks, thank you again. Let me tell you my plan to fix the storyboard rooms. Go pick a random people off the street in Chicago and tell them they're going to get paid $100,000.
That might not work because then the next thing you know, they're getting mobbed at a Subway at like 2 a.m. and
polar vortexes and shit.
During a polar vortex, they just got to get that cold cut combo, and then next thing you know, there's a hate crime that happened. We can't have that.
Talk about a hole in one. I don't even know why I said that. Anyway, guys, I have had so much fun tonight. Folks, you guys are great. We've had a great time, and I don't know what else there's to say. Wokebusters will be here. I just want to finish that trailer and go. It's time for it. So I'm going to start making appearances elsewhere. I'll be on the Side Scroller podcast next Thursday. Yes, on the 30th. So I already got that episode locked in. So look for me over there. It's going to be an exciting time to talk about whatever Craig and Blabs bring to the table, but it's always a good show over there. So I will be there next week, and I'll be here this weekend. There's a big video on Saturday, so make sure you catch that live. Help us beat the algorithm. Watch these videos. Let us get this shit out there. But like I told you guys, I enjoyed this process of doing more of a retrospective. And so check these out, because I'm going to give you a bonus one for Alita Battle Angel. And then depending on how well that one does, then we'll do, maybe one for Beverly Hills Cop before the new movie, and some more sci-fi franchises and things like that, and really broaden the appeal of what you guys love about the core of the channel. So until next time, folks, thank you for watching. It's time to do those 4 things. Be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.
.com.
What happens to us in the future, Doc?
It's your kids, Marty. Something's got to be